I'm done.
That's how I'm gonna start the video, just with your introduction of I'm Don. Yeah, that's Don. I'm not. And we're joined here by the celebrity cameo who for once I'm not saying is Don. And this is the other guy, our celebrity cameo, Christopher Sabat.
Hey, it's Christopher Sabat.
Vegeta.
Oh my god, Vegeta, it's you.
It's the voice of Vegeta and Piccolo and Roronoa Zoro.
Yeah, it's our favorite.
Dolmite.
Yeah, and All Might.
I like the idea that we have like a Game Grumps opening that's like Don and Not So Don.
Alright, we're gonna just
Hello,
press play.
Don and Not So Don. I'm happy to be here.
We're reacting to Themis' Bloodreich versus Phoenix. Yeah, we know. There she is. There she is.
And the
Let's
character
go.
everybody wants to win.
I mean, people do like Phoenix. It's just that Phoenix is... Oh yeah, fun fact. During the waiting period for this episode, Jean Grey died again. She died again in the comics.
Cool.
So even if she wins this one, she lost the war.
I think the biggest thing that does not help her like general perception in popular culture is that both of her film portrayals in live action fucking suck ass.
Also play MVC3 and you will learn to hate her.
Okay, they're starting with like a mythological rundown, and that's over. Okay.
Ooh, did you see those arms? That was just a drawing critique. What the hell was that?
Yeah, the art's weird, but I guess like Marvel's had a lot of different art styles over the years. This one's
It looks good. Just that one
uncomfortable
part
to
looked
me.
like out of a
It's
FNAF
uncomfortable
book.
to me. Out of a FNAF book.
Have you seen the way they draw children? I could scold
No,
these people.
no.
It's nasty.
Someone should take like a screenshot of the bit where it's just like Professor X, but it's all Phoenix stuff written on the side, so just like make people think that they were calling Professor X Jean Elaine Great. Oh.
Yeah.
What a great name. Is that why people were like saying Phoenix is gonna lose because she already lost to Shazam and Android 18? Did they wait, did they get that confused?
They might have.
How
That's funny.
I don't know how you
Yeah,
do that.
I don't know how I was meant to interpret the comic panels that flew up just a few seconds ago, but what it looked like was that she put some sort of like message into Hulk's brain and he threw himself through a pile of bricks.
I feel like he would have done that anyway, even
He
without
would.
being told.
Yeah. He just like
So,
Hulk
which
see
one is
bricks.
mutant
Hulk
power?
want
Yeah.
to ram into brick.
Funny comparison that all of the rest of the original X-Men have cool powers and Beast just has big hands and feet.
Beast is just,
Yeah.
I'm
Ooh.
a gorilla.
What's that?
Oh, that was cute.
I've never
What's
seen that
from?
animation. I like that.
If I'm not wrong, I believe that animation comes from a series of Marvel recap videos on the internet that are essentially just trying to get people who don't read comics as much familiar with them. I could be wrong.
Oh.
Correct
Huh.
me if I'm wrong in the comments, or
Damn.
if you do the research, because you fucking might. But,
Just
I
to
think
prove
that's
you
where that's
wrong.
from,
You
'cause-
think I'm that spiteful
Yeah.
that I would just research it just to prove you wrong?
No, that you
I just
research
thought
it
it
to
looked
be sure
cute.
where it was from.
All right.
And then
But I do
there's-
like how it
Oh,
looks.
Christ.
Yeah, they're usually very colorful.
Oh my god, planet level Phoenix. Oh, I'm sorry, Raven, you're fucked.
All you can do
All
is
she can
throw
do
a
is blow
bird
up a
into a hole.
horse.
She's just got a bit of fire. What if she
What is
what
the-
if she puts some bad thoughts into Raven's head and Raven just throws herself through some bricks and dies?
Snap her
Raven
neck
just throws
like
herself into a
Shang
pile of
Tsung
bricks as a
mentality.
Street Fighter. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
What is that face from Cap? It's like, I don't really
Is
care.
Versus Battle Wiki gonna update their AP tiers to include horse level?
Horse level.
Wait, did they just repeat that clip again? Or
Yes,
is
that
just
looks like the same
It's
clip
Oh,
they
just,
used
or was
I
it-
think it is more of the same clip.
because it looked the exact same,
Yeah,
but,
I've done that
but I
before in
wasn't
my
sure
videos.
because it looked like it was the anime, so it could have just been they reused the animation in the anime. So you know,
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Blast that would melt a supernova. Now, I don't know if you know what a supernova is, Marvel Comics.
It's the same way that, like, Matarasu or, like, the Magu Magu no Mi
Yeah, like,
in,
burns fire.
One Piece. Just burn fire, yeah.
That's how that works.
I set this fire on fire.
Wow, she can fight the
There's more
thing.
fire. Oh,
Fuck
bye,
is
surfer.
that?
Was that Moon Dragon? They look like Moon
You're
Dragon.
giving her an infinity stone?
Oh, okay.
No. They were just saying that
Why?
like she scales to individual stones.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Jesus.
And
16,
Yes.
apparently.
16.
So
It'd be so
many.
funny. Yes!
Oh.
Yes! Yes! Oh my god.
Thank you. Thank
Fucking
you.
ace.
Thank you.
Fucking ace. Fucking ace. Nah, that's brilliant. I was gonna say I hope they re-recorded it to correct that, but no. That was better.
You're not getting one.
Okay.
Also in with the Phoenix Force.
I like that cutaway. Just the
Phoenix Force has a thing for redheads, apparently. So it's like me.
Yeah.
Good job, Phoenix Force.
Yeah. And like me.
You have taste.
I do.
Hi, Galactus.
I think honestly, I think stalemating.
Shit.
I think it's more a feat for Galactus that he stalemated the Phoenix Force, given how often he jobs.
Unfortunately.
That's pretty big.
Damn.
Oh.
That a dog? Shit.
I feel like they're gonna put their power at equal then, because that feels like it'd be very comparable to the unkindness doing the same thing to all the DC.
Yeah. Kill the Beyonder.
Yeah, in the White Hot Room.
Aye.
Well, I didn't look close enough. Did that have the really stupid line that goes all the way down her crotch? Because I don't know why they drew
don't
that
think
on
I
the White
saw it.
Phoenix.
I
An
wasn't
orphan,
looking at
the
her
orphan
But I
crotch.
also
universe.
wasn't paying
idea.
attention for that.
Yo, the
I
orphan
wasn't
universe.
looking at her crotch. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I wasn't looking either, but that's why I realized at the last second. Wait a minute, did they do the stupid line? Wait, was that that was a carrot? Was that did you say Mr. Carrot? Hold on.
Flaming Carrot. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, he's not Marvel though. He's his own
It was
thing.
just a regular carrot, not Flaming Carrot.
But it's a Mr. Carrot.
That's a lot of gene.
Oh, that is really nicely animated. I like
I
that.
love that art style.
I mean, the animation itself is not like moving much, but like it looks really nice.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
It's a very nice style.
Raven, 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 Raven. It's the woman me. It's
First
me.
few times you did that, it almost sounded like you were doing it to the Ninja Turtles theme song. Raven, 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 Raven,
Raven, Raven. That, I mean, I guess it works. It was like a cityscape they were showing.
Purple guy on YouTube. Raven.
Purple guy
Raven
on
with a
YouTube.
bird self. Raven power.
Uh-oh, that looks bad.
Yeah, the show doesn't
Yeah,
look
shit.
great.
I have
Rachel
11.
Roth.
She's bigger. She's winning.
Likes Gossip Girl.
Who doesn't?
I've never watched Gossip Girl. So
I like
can't
the
say I
awkward
do.
silence there.
Who doesn't?
Oh yeah, I do
Crickets.
love that like Raven's second ever comic, she begins with, yeah, so Starfire, you ain't shit. I could destroy the universe. Fucking you do. And it's like,
Take
that's
that,
blatant.
bitch.
Yo, it's Mace
Orange
Windu with his
redhead piece of
handheld mirror.
shit. Fuck Batman.
Whoa, what was that?
Shazam's like, what the fuck?
Shazam was like, I
Whoa,
felt something.
was that Raven with
I'm
red
not
hair?
gonna do anything about it though.
That is too powerful.
I'm realizing
Shit.
looking at this that sometimes Raven looks like Death of the Endless, and that confuses me as someone who actually, knows Death of the Endless.
Well, aren't her forms usually just red skin Trigon and then like white Raven?
No, White
There it
Raven's
is.
not a form. It's literally just an outfit.
Oh, it's just a costume.
Yeah, Gold Raven is closer to a form. The big
Gold
thing is
Raven sounds awesome.
Is the unkindness, which is a stupid name.
Aye. It's a giant. What the fuck? The giant bird spear
Look, hey, the
colliding
ebon,
into me at
the
Mark
ebon sword.
36.
I love the ebon sword. It's a really cool looking sword that she never uses.
Oh shit!
Yo!
I actually mentioned it so casually. Oh yeah, it can also kill a horse. That's awesome.
Oh my god, horse level Phoenix versus horse level Raven. Oh my goodness. Boom. Battle for the universe. Let's get striking.
Feel the power and the force of the mightiest titan.
I don't know the rest. Don, tag in.
I'm glad that he has a vial of just dread here.
Who could win a new god?
It's geese!
Did he
Oh,
just say
shit.
gooses? No. Did Boomstick just say gooses instead of geese?
Id.
He can't say that. That's not okay. That's inconsistent.
I also-
Pieces.
We've never seen that thing speak before. It can talk?
Can
It
now.
just got like cosmic
Yeah, it
juices
was like the
lodged in
cosmic
its
juice thing,
skull,
whatever. It
so
was
yeah, it
whatever.
learned to speak. The fuck?
Yeah, there's the ebon sword. Look how cool it looks. She never uses it.
It has a sword?
Like something out of Tron.
Yeah.
That immediately makes me
Look at
love
his
it.
face. He's like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
He's like, did someone just
Oh,
fart?
shit.
I just sniffed something that
Huh?
smelled really bad.
Ew.
What nose?
Please
Nah, she
don't
can't.
do that. Ew, God, that guy.
And should someone attempt to possess her, she can tether their soul to hers.
Nah, she can't. Oh, there we go. The unkindness.
Hey, Wally. Holy shit. That is kind of a
Yeah,
shit name.
I know what it's referring to, Boomstick, but you can also call a group of ravens a conspiracy, and that sounds like it'd be a much funnier name for it. The
I think a
conspiracy.
conspiracy is also a group of lemurs.
Group of Crows has the
Might be.
best name.
Yeah,
Murder.
If I could find a new species, I would say a group of
Beast
this
Boy fucking
is called an amogus. That's what I'd do, and everyone would hate me
Fight
for
me
it.
on that.
I gotta
Fucking
say,
hate Beast Boy.
Mongol's cool and all, but Mongol does not seem nearly as impressive compared to this fucking, like, all of creation shit.
They literally showed her jobbing Superman Prime, and it's like even like a weak Superman could kick the crap out of Mongol. So.
Mongol does have a pretty cool line, though, when he's like, "Happy birthday, Kryptonian, I gift you oblivion."
Yeah.
Thanks!
Hey,
It's
yeah,
what I've always wanted!
ended every plane of existence as the unkindness. Yep, there's
Oh,
Gold
what
Raven.
the fuck?
She's
I
literally
like
gold.
this already. Gold's my favorite color. Let's go.
The music. What? Why does the music sound so casual?
The same Superman who flew so fast he broke the bonds of infinity.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck.
Are they just kind of confirming Trigon is going to beat Dormammu's ass if they ever do that fight?
Nah, there's no way Dormammu wouldn't get fast as shit. Okay, I was gonna say because Dormammu scales to Doctor Strange's speed, but then they like dropped the Doctor Fate feat that they had way above
Yeah.
Strange, so
I was going to mention
maybe
that.
Trigon will be faster. Well, wait, actually no, hold on. They're gonna be infinite speed either way. There's no way.
And Trigon had no idea
Ow.
how strong his daughter really was.
With the rings of Azar, Raven bonded with Azarath to overpower Trigon. and
Azarath,
destroy his
Metreon.
soul. Even though her body got nuked in the process, they just kept superheroing without it. That's right. Azar, go!
Yeah, I mean, if her soul stealth is still going, like that is her soul, you know.
Prove impressive. Like the time she fought the Spectre, an unbound angel of wrath whose conflicts often
I do not think that was Unbound Spectre.
Legends of old.
I don't think that was Logos he was fighting. I'm just gonna say,
Was she wearing red there? What the hell?
Raven has a lot of outfits.
Okay. Portents of Doom
Huh.
are nothing new for this shadow-clad sorceress. With her teammates at her side, there's no future this Titan can't overcome.
That felt like it was like
Yeah.
building up to a like a clip, and then they realized, oh yeah, we don't do end clips anymore.
It'd be really funny if they just like, they just forgot. And they're like, "Oh yeah."
Oh,
come on,
moving
Raven.
on.
have seen the preview for this.
Yeah, do we all want Raven to win? I'm gonna assume yes.
I am more.
I'm
I am more of a purple
not
hair.
picky either
Actually,
way.
I'm not
I'm
really.
not
I
really
can't really
picky,
decide
but
between purple hair or red hair. So
I
it's
want
just the
Raven
fact
to
that
win for friends.
Raven
not for me.
Raven is more like me, so I gotta support her.
I like the way the soul self looks here.
I like it. Yeah. I liked how it
Bird
looked in the
fight.
last episode, but this is way
Funny
better. This is way
birds.
better.
Funny birds.
Bird up, bird up, bird up.
Phoenix
Bird
punch.
up.
This is the punches of
Bro, I
bird.
love the
Punch.
X-Men theme in this. It's so good.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah. They
Ah,
didn't use the
shit.
Teen Titans theme much in this track.
I did hear it somewhat.
Yeah, it's there
Not
like
as
early
prevalent
on, but it's
as-
not like prominent. I'm not really a fan of how that one sounded,
Ow,
like
the
that like
fucking
vocal
door.
delivery. But like every other vocal delivery sounds really nice. And this
I
looks
wonder if
great.
they specifically thought about this as like a Multiverse of Madness reference.
Maybe.
Maybe.
This
a
is
little.
one of the cooler scenes in Multiverse of Madness when they fucking Genjutsu Wanda into like the weird house.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Throw hands.
Bird fight.
Fucking bird. Now
Oh,
she's
he's
red.
red.
Now she's just
She has
proving
4
Jean's
eyes.
point. Oh god, she's
Four-armed
gonna use the
sword.
sword more in this than in the actual comic. Yep.
They hit
Well,
him with the world.
The end.
Unfortunately, Phoenix had a full bar of super.
I
Also
can I
red.
can go red too.
Oh. Oh hey, I can do that too. In fact,
even-
it's kind of my thing.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what
He's a
that's
really
something
big
I
bird.
wanted. Was
That's
just
a
the
really
a
big
sign of
bird.
like the different scale they work on.
big. Oh shit.
Here's an army of me from every second we've fought so far.
Every second we've fought so far.
Moon.
Wait, but that logic Phoenix is gonna win. That looked
Oh,
kind of
fuck.
weird, but oh, here we go. Come on, Raven.
Moon, you'll be fine.
I feel like
Oh,
Raven's
shit.
gonna die.
Oh, that would hurt. Uh oh. Oh fuck.
Oh, yo.
They're not gonna do. Oh, White Phoenix. I was like, wait, they're not gonna?
I heard her
You know,
saying.
when you
I
say
heard that
white,
as her
if you're in
saying
the
up
same
yours, and I
sentence,
was
maybe
like,
you shouldn't.
Hey,
Wait,
I
wait,
think
was
what
that-
just happened was that Raven took the 2 rings. Yep, there they are.
that was just Wally
Lend
versus
me
Sonic.
your power.
Help me now. I wish you gone forever.
Oh, she said the
Oh,
thing. She
shit.
said the thing.
Oh, I'm out.
Yo. Yeah. Come
It was
on.
like Kratos in God of War 3, just away with you.
It is.
Place is pretty.
I fucking called
Oh,
it.
shit.
Everyone else was like, Phoenix is gonna win. I fucking won again, lads.
That's surprising, since Raven's reputation hardly matches that of the almighty
Get
Phoenix.
fucked. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of went. Couldn't destroy the Soul Self. That's something I said could be a big deal. Phoenix not being able to do anything about that.
Compete with speeds exceeding infinity.
God, I'm so
Superman.
fucking smart.
I'm so fucking smart.
I'm so fucking smart.
Was that Cheetah?
No, that was a Marvel thing, I think. I wasn't paying much attention.
Oh.
Matter and time, and
Tigra? I think that's her name. She's just not as good Cheetah.
ability to survive and fight as just her soul meant that most of Jean's offensive arsenal could not end the fight.
Ow.
The Phoenix Force could have attempted to possess Raven's soul, but Raven has tethered her essence to other similarly powerful beings and absorbed them in the past.
Just tethers herself to the Phoenix Force. Like, yeah, I'll just eat that.
Ravens has
Dumb.
regenerated from complete disintegration.
On the flip side, Jean actually had very little defense against Raven's soul manipulation.
Yep.
Phoenix could
Yep.
regenerate Jean's
That's
soul,
what I said
but
too.
not her spirit.
When Rachel Gray's soul was shattered, the Phoenix was actually incapable of healing it on its own. And while the Phoenix Force itself will be reborn in the White Hot Room, this can take months, years, even centuries.
So it could be one hell of a war of attrition, but ultimately only Raven had the ability to finish this battle.
Jean Grey was one of the strongest beings we've ever seen.
Also, is that the hyperbolic time chamber in the White Hot Room, or did I like see that wrong?
I was not looking.
If it was there, I didn't notice it, but I also wouldn't put it past them.
Both the
Never, I
Raven.
knew the pun would be Nevermore
Nevermore.
too. Alright, time for Liu Kang versus, I still don't know how his name is supposed to be said.
Jago.
Jago, fine. But last time I said Jago, people got pissed off at me for saying it like that.
Those
Those
people are
people are wrong.
stupid.
Okay, I was wrong.
Guts.
Let's.
Eh, boo. No. It is Guts. It is Guts. I can't boo Guts. He's the best.
Guts,
Guts coming
fuck.
back, and at least for the point that we are right now in Berserk, at least last I heard, I don't think we're in the middle of like anything
Nah.
super big like fight or scaling wise, so we shouldn't be hit with the death battle curse on this one. Maybe Dimitri's based. I've heard a lot of people like him. I don't have any experience with Fire Emblem outside of Path of Radiance, so
This
I have no
just,
experience
this
with
just
Fire
killed
Emblem.
like one of my most wanted and favorite matchups ever. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed, but it is Guts, and like I can't be too
I'm a
upset.
little bit.
It is
how
Guts.
likely was like honestly
No,
how likely was Claire
Guts versus Claire was
comparatively?
never gonna happen. Like no way. But still, like Guts can carry an episode on his own. It's just here's Guts, the protagonist of one of the most well-known manga in human history, against some guy from one video game.
I mean,
It's
a
a-
lot of people really like.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people.
I'm-
I'm happy for them because like here's the thing: the thing with Guts versus Claire and Guts versus Dimitri is that basically everyone on either side has had this very respectful. I like my matchup more, but your one is still good. So I do think Guts Dimitri is still good. Like it's still a good
I think
matchup.
the biggest
from what
thing
I
to
know.
me is that a vast majority of Berserk fans in Death Battles fandom haven't seen or read Berserk, whereas a vast majority of Dimitri fans in the Death Battle fandom never shut up about
That's-
how much they love playing Three Houses. So, like, on one side, you've got people actually rooting for a character they genuinely love with Dimitri. On the other side, you got people that fucking don't understand Guts and haven't seen or read Berserk. The people that have, you're fucking based. Good story.
It's like fucking everyone who thinks Guts is just some like mindless kill guy who just like is unstoppable and doesn't have like that very strong
like, whoa,
emotional
he's so
core.
badass.
Like Guts being a badass is a big part of him, but like what's a bigger part is that emotional core of the character, like what makes him
The
so
biggest
fun
part
to
of Guts
read.
is just that he's really fucking sad.
Yeah, he's a poor bastard.
Like,
mean-
he is the saddest guy ever.
This does give us our second dark fantasy character since Guts in his appearance prior. So I guess it's technically not, but like I'm counting this as the second appearance of dark fantasy since Guts' last appearance. So that's
the other
cool
one?
because the only other one is Chosen Undead.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Dark Souls very much is dark fantasy. Like, it is a very dark fantasy thing. Both dark fantasy characters in Death Battle are from Japan, which is interesting to me.
I imagine the only other one that I see like being super likely for Death Battle is maybe Vampire Hunter D, which is also from Japan.
Yeah, I mean, is Elden Ring not dark fantasy like its contemporaries? Because I could see Elden Ring getting on.
It is, but I would say Elden Ring's story is a lot like.
Is
said
it more,
I'm
is it
not
more high
like
fantasy?
I haven't played like Elden Ring fucking the edge of the universe back like everyone else has, but at least from what I can hear, the lore of Elden Ring isn't necessarily as focused on like despair as Dark Souls is.
Huh.
It still is dark fantasy, and one of like the main endings of the game has you, I'm pretty sure, just becoming like the fucking devil or whatever, like perpetuating some sort of cycle, like Soulsborne stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's the kind of dark fantasy that something like Bloodborne or like Dark Souls is. The kind of dark fantasy I would like to see, I really want to see Bastard on Death Battle someday, because Dark Schneider seems like the fucking like zaniest character that you could ever analyze.
Yeah, everyone just calls him Dash though, and that's really funny because it sounds like Daft to me. Dark Fantasy doesn't seem like very likely for this. Does give us a new, I think Fire Emblem we can call high fantasy, but a lot of the time it doesn't. It doesn't really have
very
this-
very much so.
It doesn't have the scale that high fantasy has like a very surprisingly cosmic scale all over the time. But I guess there are also lower end like high fantasy series, and I'd say Fire Emblem's probably one of them.
closest thing, and this is as I understand it, is in Three Houses there is a weapon that I believe over the course of some time destroyed an entire
Yeah,
nation.
yeah. Just
I think you can get that anywhere from like mountain to small country, depending on how many you buy it taking and like how long it took. Like, it just depends on your interpretation of it.
and of
as
course,
far
if
as I
you
can
scale
tell.
Dimitri to that, then he fucking stomps. Poor Guts.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's like a
Probably
part of
will.
me who, as much as I love Guts, wouldn't complain if Dimitri beats him, just because it would kind of like, it would help punch in the face that whole like Guts is this unstoppable badass that nobody can beat sort of mentality. Which I know a lot of people meme it,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of people who take it seriously. Like a guy who unironically thinks Guts versus Superman is like close, and Guts would edge out. Which like fucking hell, that's you do you,
We'll
buddy.
also say, pretty sure it's consistent across most Fire Emblem games that if you're like decently strong enough, you should scale generally to other people's speed, and like most characters can dodge lightning-based attacks in Fire Emblem. I don't think Guts can, or if he can,
No,
I don't
like,
think it's as consistent.
He does have feats of like moving within the span of time that lightning was coming, like in tandem movement with lightning. I don't think it's as fast, but it is within a similar ballpark. I think in terms of power, Dimitri, I think. Well, it's hard to say because I know Guts is like town city level, like that region. And I know Dimitri's, well, like that whole area of Fire Emblem I've seen put in like the same general region of like power. I get the feeling Dimitri's probably gonna win. But as it pains me to say it. But claps
I'm interested
for,
though.
I'm gonna give claps to the Guts
uh,
versus Dimitri fans because they've been relatively respectful in the community to Guts Claire fans.
Yeah.
It's been one of the rare times where disagreement in what matchup's better has not resulted in any sort of like arguing, but more so just I prefer this, I prefer that, I respect that, and I respect that. So you got your matchup. I hope the episode's good for my boy Guts. Don't let that don't let that like reactionary boo dissuade you. That was purely reactionary.
Would
I
have
love
preferred
Guts.
Claire on the basis purely that like I'm more interested in learning about Claymore than I am learning about Fire Emblem.
I feel like
because like
Claire has just
but
a
my
lot-
two
lot more
housemates
going
right
for
now are already pretty big Fire Emblem fans, so I hear about it a lot, and a lot of my friends within the Galaxy video group are also fans of Fire Emblem. So like, if I want to hear or talk to someone about Fire Emblem, I can just talk to them. It's like I could probably talk to you about Claymore, but at the same time, I don't have like the same pool of like resources for people that can like tell me exactly like what they love about Claymore, like the best parts of it, that kind of stuff. So it's like something I kind of
I mean, for
guess
me,
I'm more interested into because I'm not like as exposed to it.
I mean, for me, like outside of the fact that I really like Claymore and I really like Claire, like I want a dark fantasy versus dark fantasy fight. And I feel like the aesthetic of Claymore matches Berserk so much better than Fire Emblem ever does. Like they both have that sort of air of just hyper detailed, large scale panels to show what's happening. And like that sort of aesthetic is something that's shared between both series, and I like it a lot. I really like it. I like dark fantasy, and I love high fantasy more, but I want dark fantasy versus dark fantasy because like I wanted high fantasy versus high fantasy. We got that with Sauron versus the Lich King. That was a double high fantasy fight.
As far as dark
despite what
fantasy
some people
goes,
say. It
By
just
what
feels
some people
quiet.
say.
Well, some people say that Sauron Lich King was like, oh, it's dark fantasy. It's like, no. Warcraft is high fantasy. It's one of the most high fantasy things ever. In fact, if there was anything more high fantasy than Warcraft, it's Middle Earth. Neither is dark fantasy just because they're dark characters within a fantasy series. They're both high
I think
fantasy
as far
characters.
as dark fantasy goes, the one that I am holding out hope for, because I think not only is it probably one of the most complicated debates that Death Battle might ever see if it
Alucard D.
happens, is Alucard from Castlevania versus Vampire Hunter D. Because, like, I'm pretty sure just going down a list of, like, the abilities that these guys have, just the amount of shit they have in their arsenal. Look up, like, 56 screenshots on my phone for D, and then like 48 for Alucard, and that's not anything to do with their scaling. That is just their arsenal.
Actually, now that you mention it, is Castlevania dark fantasy? I feel like the argument
yes,
could be made.
I would
so,
absolutely say so.
So yeah, then there is 3 Dark Fantasy characters because there is also Dracula. So I forgot about that one, but no, Castlevania is dark, and that's another Japanese originated Dark Fantasy character.
Like, Castlevania does have its goofier moments, shit like Kid Dracula, or like some of the stuff that happens in like cartoons or something like that. If you watch like the Castlevania like anime on Netflix, or if you like play the games and like really pay attention to the deeper lore and just the general like themes and enemies of it, is very much leaning towards more like dark and gothic fantasy.
Just like the vibe and the aesthetic, like that's why when I thought about it and I remembered they have used Castlevania, my first thought was, oh, that's absolutely dark fantasy, isn't it? So yeah, I would class Dracula as dark fantasy as well.
Like one of my favorite feats, or for both sides, for D's side, and this is less of a feat, more just like how like powerful one of his abilities is. He has this literally irresistible aura of just, you have to find him attractive. Like, you don't have to act on it or anything. It's just, you will find him like stunningly beautiful to the point where it will put you into shock. It is so potent that it worked on a robot with no emotions that was specifically resistant to having that kind of thing happen to it. And he is so like ungodly beautiful that it was still in awe of his sheer beauty. And then for Alucard, and I think this one's just funny, it's one of the funniest things for like Infinite Speed I've ever seen, is scaling pretty directly above death, who can literally kill the concept, like kill speed.
Kill speed,
literally
yeah.
Transcend speed by killing speed. Can kill a concept. Like, one of the weirdest things is how fucking difficult it is to kill either of these guys. So to be able to kill Alucard, like, pretty much, like, there's all kinds of different immortalities that he has, but it all goes back to chaos magic. So you have to be able to either destroy his link to chaos magic, which he's resistant to, or you have to be able to destroy chaos magic. And chaos magic is not only stupid powerful, it is, like, stupid hacksy as well. And it also exists outside of, like, the regular, like, universe as it is. But D is in a similarly weird boat where he can not only hit people that exist less than he does, however the fuck... So, like, there was this thing called the Akashic Records in Vampire Hunter D, which is pretty much a record of all of reality. All of the current universe, the past, the present, the future, everything that exists within creation, other universes, all of reality. And it has a record of literally everything that has ever lived. Except for him, he exists within the universe and can interact with it, but he does not exist in the Akashic Records. So things that have, like, supposedly were, like, supposed to be able to kill him because he's, like, it doesn't exist. They're like, oh, well, I also don't exist, so I can kill you despite you not existing. And he's like, no, you can't, because I exist less than you do.
Based. That's big ball energy.
It's so ridiculous trying to read these things. Like, there's a dude that he fights like 4 times. Every single time D kills him, he's like, ha, I cut your fount of life, and now you're dead. And he's like, ha, well, I came back from that, and now if you try it again, it won't kill me. He's like, oh, no, it doesn't anyway. Yes, it does. And then, like, that goes on over the course of, like, a couple volumes of the novels.
Guy thinks he's Inferno Cop.
Yeah, it genuinely feels like that sometimes, like, researching Vampire Hunter D. It feels like Inferno Cop, where it's like, I shoot you, I'm immune to your bullets. So am I. Wait, what?
I love that. Just why did he suddenly stop being immune to bullets? I guess he just didn't. He just wasn't immune enough.
Yeah, he was so
He didn't
surprised.
take his bullet immunity pills this morning.
His bullet immunity pills. He was meant to take 2 a
Yeah.
day. He only took 1.
It
shit.
wore off right then and there. I like to think that he was just so shocked that he forgot he was immune to bullets.
That seems like.
Aha,
Inferno.
wait a minute.
Well, wait, what are you? Just dies. Alright. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that thing where we rewatch the fight. Because we did not say anything about Raven Phoenix. We just jumped into talking about Guts and then nothing else. Apparently people are jumping onto Claire versus Geralt from Witcher. That sounds lame. Geralt is like nowhere near the scale that anything, like, he's nowhere near Claire's level. Why would you do that? Claire's
I
like,
think some of these people just want to see Claire.
like, I want to see Claire too, but like it's never gonna happen unless she fights Guts, and she's not gonna fight Guts now. So, fuck, man. I guess like with Geralt, stick him against Talion or something. At least Talion might also be way stronger, but at least he's not like using two different abilities, both of which move faster than anyone can see. And like that's just the default ability of Claire. Is with one hand she can go faster than anything ever, and with the other hand she can do the exact same thing. What the fuck is Geralt gonna do to
I
that?
think the big thing is just that like that's the only like I guess like likely matchup that Claire would ever be in, and people want to see Geralt anyway because people.
There's no way Claire Geralt's likely. I refuse to. I would be genuinely annoyed if they do Claire Geralt, because like it just doesn't vibe. It does not have the vibe. It does not.
So, is Guts and Dimitri close? I have no idea.
I mean, I
no,
think
it's not really.
Is just Dimitri just going to fucking slaughter him
it's
because
close
Fire Emblem?
if you do not scale Dimitri to the stuff that instantly wins.
Of course.
So it's close in the
course.
sense like, what do you scale Dimitri to?
Well,
Oh,
see,
so,
the
yeah,
weirdest
we've had
thing,
this
like,
problem
and
before.
like Fire Emblem fans, feel free to correct me, and I'm sure, like, if you can, like, get somebody on for your like prediction video, if you end up doing it, you might be able to clarify this as well. Only scaling I have ever heard, and maybe it's because the only relevant characters people talk about that often as far as scaling are Edelgard and Byleth. But in Three Houses, the only scaling thing I've ever heard is those fucking
It's
weapons.
the country level thing,
So-
yeah.
Is like country to like maybe mountain level if you to believe it's like a bunch of them being used over a course of time. But Dimitri doesn't scale to that. I have no idea what he would scale to.
Town City level. I've seen people place Edelgard as like in the same range as Kylo Ren, who is like Town City level. So the power should be similar. Dimitri should be faster. Dimitri should probably just win.
Isn't Edelgard like female Hitler?
Yeah. Adolf Hitler.
Neat.
Alright, I'm just gonna press play. Yeah.
Kind of want Dimitri to win just because he's kind of cute, not gonna lie.
Do. Yeah, like that's like the only part of the fight where I hear like the Teen Titans song, but more of it is X-Men.
Because that show's better.
Not really seen either.
Bro, I love the original X-Men show.
Original Teen Titans, I would say, as far as actual quality of the show, is way better than the '90s X-Men cartoon.
Yeah,
Wow,
but I'm biased. I
a show
don't
being
care.
better than a '90s show that was. I do love her just like
Fucking
door level
ow.
Jean Grey.
Fast chuckle nuts,
That
bonk.
door is way more powerful than a horse. Shit.
Dude, fucking horse level door. Evidently. And then they go into the pink place.
Yeah. That did look a bit silly, but like there's not
You're
much
red
wrong with this
now.
fight.
It looks like she came out of a bird egg.
Yeah.
I do like that she.
Sword.
I don't know why her running there looks silly. Like I do like that she uses the sword when she never used it in the comics. It's like just one up the comics. Fuck
And
it.
then Phoenix uses her level 4.
What's that now? That's supposed to kill you.
Yeah, but in MVC, it's
That's
like
not
if she has
supposed to
full
happen.
meter, it's like, oh, she just resurrects. Shit.
I just imagine Raven is like, uh-oh. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Sorry, my meter was full, so I get to come back.
Yeah, so I just get a full bar. I just get my health back. Sure, it goes down constantly, but it's
Frame
still a
data is
full bar of
ridiculous. I
health.
can teleport anywhere on the screen. It's a guessing game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why didn't Phoenix fight?
Owned.
Why didn't Phoenix fight Terminator though? Like if that's how. Or
Pretty
Jason.
funny.
Oh no, a moon.
A Moongus.
That
Yeah,
looked
that
like
would
it would hurt.
And then it's just like, oh, actually, the whole time they were just sitting there still. She just reaches
She
out
was
of
like
her own
Ted
tits.
She was like Ted Bear from Side 9 Happiness. Just crawling out of her own dead body.
Turn those shields off. No, a voice in my head.
Oh
I'm
no!
sorry,
Must
Gene.
turn off.
Force field.
Just say, can I
No!
just say, Gene, you should never
Oh,
say
wait.
the words white
You
and
thought you
pure in the
made me
same
turn.
You think I turned it
Force
off?
field up?
No, it's
No.
too powerful for that.
Yeah,
I gave
thank
it to you.
This is not Scarlet Witch vs. Zatanna 2. This is Cable vs. Mr. Gold 2. I gave it to you.
See you in hell, you goddamn
Blue
bird-shaped asshole.
You golden asshole. She's
Terrific.
just golden.
She is golden, yeah. You goddamn golden asshole.
Booster
Fucking ace.
Damn golden asshole.
Just do the voices you did for Booster and Cable when you do the how it should have happened.
That is a fucking brilliant idea. I was thinking of doing that. That is genius, yeah.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
You can't do this to me!
It'd be really funny if you didn't even use like the lines that they're using in this. You just use Cable versus Booster Gold. It's like, oh, I get it. You want to boost your reputation by taking on a big guy. All right.
If it's a fight you'll want,
It's a fight you'll get.
Pavement will be painted red with your blood.
What?
What?
Wait, is this guy serious?
I'd like to imagine when it's them
Thank you.
fighting and then going into like this pink area. He's just like, "Did you just punch me in the next week? Or
We're like
a million next weeks?"
Oh wait, I guess it was
Want some
because
of
like
this?
Cable is like the son of Jean Grey's clone, so like
Fuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Booster Gold probably knows Raven.
It's
They've
probably
probably
better
said a
once or
word.
twice.
They've probably
Yeah.
said a word to each other.
Probably know of each other.
Let me
Okay,
look this
but
up.
what
just
if
for
Garden the
kids.
Band in in the end and won this episode though? What would have happened then?
I'm sorry. What fucking what?
What if Garden the
Okay,
Band
I
Band
would-
showed up at the end and
Hey,
won?
I can't imagine a worse timeline actually.
Appeal of
Oh, Jumbo Josh, bruh.
Oh, Josh, bruh.
Okay, so Booster Gold
I think she
attempt to
picks up
sell.
Raven by her head here.
Oh
Makes
my
me think
God.
of when Liz picks up Gohan by his head and makes him fucking look at the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the punching next week, like million next week.
Look, Gohan, it's the Star of Bethlehem. You know what that means? The arrival of baby Jesus? That's right, but replace Jesus with a giant monkey.
Base.
The arrival of baby giant monkey.
Because I'm a monkey.
You hit like
Because I'm a monkey.
You hit like
Oh,
a
no, I'm
girl.
not a monkey.
You hit like
Oh,
a
no,
girl
the
is
kid's
such
a
a
monkey.
funny line in this context.
You hit like a girl.
Yeah,
girl
I
too,
guess I do,
asshole.
don't I?
You're a girl too, you shit.
You hit like a
Technically,
man.
she hits like a. Yeah, technically, she hits like Trigon.
That's true.
Fuck.
Yeah, that
Head
works.
bear.
I feel like it just reaches out of her tits and then there's like pokes her in the face.
That's how you get Ted
What
Bear
did you
from
take?
Dead Bear.
Everything.
Enough. I'm taking everything that twisted you to somewhere
White and pure.
pure.
I'm not gonna stop thinking about that. That is. What is that? Is that the? That doesn't look like the hyperbolic time chamber.
It kind of does.
It kinda does.
look
I'm
like
talking. The big one does. I'm thinking of the big one.
Yeah, the big one on the
the
top
big
right.
one right there. It looks like the outside of the hyperbolic time
Yeah.
chamber.
I mean,
Maybe I'm
everything
just
here looks
there's
like the
no
inside.
hourglasses, so I don't know.
Look,
What's
look
that
up the
down
picture
there?
of the
What's-
hyperbolic time
Is
chamber
that
from
is
the
that
outside.
thing
Or
directly below it also from Dragon Ball?
at the very least, it looks like Kami's palace.
It resembles it. That's why like I wasn't paying close attention. It threw me off.
Like, look up Kami's palace from Dragon Ball. That's what it looks like.
It'd be so funny if like they meant to put.
So
The
it's
time
definitely
chamber.
not the time chamber.
Okay, no,
Let me
it's not
look
the
up
time
Kami's
chamber.
Palace. I mean,
Time chamber's in Kami's palace. Though.
yeah, I know. I'm just like getting pictures of everything. It looks more like Kami's palace, but it's still
still
not
different,
the
yeah.
same.
It
Yeah,
it
it's
just
still
looks
pretty different.
It's probably like some famous like tourist
I
attraction
want to say
location that I just
this
don't
also
know.
isn't much of a room.
No, I mean it's
Just
not.
a
It's
void.
never a room. This probably.
No, I'm not blaming Death Battle for this. I'm just saying on the end of like Marvel Comics, it's kind of a stupid name. This isn't really much of a room. It's
I
more
mean,
like a void.
Bro,
it's called
if
the
I had
White
a
Hot
nickel
Room.
for
That's a really.
If I had a nickel for
stupid-
every time a death battle this season ended in a big white void, I'd have 2 nickels.
I'm
which isn't
gonna
a lot, but
fucking
it's weird
nudie.
that it
They were
happened
both.
twice.
It was both of the Marvel DC episodes
Yeah,
as well.
it's even weirder now.
Not to mention there is another Marvel DC episode.
I'm
that ends in
operating
big-
on a
ends in
scale you
big
can't
white
even
void.
comprehend.
Now I kinda wish that Jean had ants just fly out of her body for no reason, and Raven's like, "What the
I don't
fuck?" was that?"
understand.
I
Why
didn't-
did he eat
I
the
didn't, I didn't
ants?
do that.
You know what should have happened? Deadpool should have shown up with a gun and just shot her.
Oh my God, it's Marvin the Martian with a gun.
I didn't do that. Who the fuck?
Why
did
did
that?
he eat the ants? I don't get it.
I still like that a lot. Just the idea of leaving Tribunal as just 3 Marvin the Martians, just completely misunderstanding everything.
Who are you people? What? You're not supposed to be here.
Scott, Charles.
Why did she?
Reach
Why?
back.
Why did she call Raven Scott Charles? That doesn't make any sense.
That's not her name.
Frank, I am not the dog.
Rachel Ray.
I am not Charles.
I'm not Charles. My name's Raven. You dumb
I'm not
bint.
Charles
My
or
name
Scott.
is Rachel Roth.
What a name.
Broth.
I do like how she's like, "Go Phoenix," and Phoenix is like, "Yeah, I got this. Never mind."
I got
It's like it's like the same energy as when Vader was like catching the tail beef and was like, "Yeah, I got this. I got this." Oh, I was a filthy liar. Apparently.
I don't got this.
I lied.
Turn off those
Oh,
mind
I lied.
powers. Oh, you thought I turned it off? No, it's too strong for that. I gave it to you.
Wait, what?
Away with you.
Imagine she like just looked at the
Who's
Phoenix
terrific?
and they were just like, "Whoops." Raven joins the exclusive, the very limited 2-0 club. Characters who have won 2 death
Elusive.
battles and not lost any. Who else is there? I know. Oh, I was gonna say Leonardo is no.
think.
Leonardo died.
He
fucking
used to
died.
be there.
Yeah.
used to.
I think. let me
Superman.
think.
Shao Kahn, Superman.
Shao
Yes.
Kahn, Superman.
Are we counting? Does Samus count?
Yes, I would say those are 2 different episodes.
I guess you could
Okay.
say Samus counts. Yeah.
And
Guts is
yeah,
not
Shao
gonna.
Kahn, like you
but
said.
who knows? Oh, we were joking about next time being a returning combatant.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row.
I predicted accurately that it would be a Fire Emblem character.
Oh, Darth Vader
You're
joined
so
the exclusive
wise.
0-2 club.
Yeah, right next to Hulk.
You know, you could stupidly argue that Madara is in the 2-0 club.
Yeah, Doom's also in the 2.
Oh, fucking.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Doom, yeah.
And Lex is in 0-2. Fuck.
Oh, Iron Man.
0-2 Club also includes Captain Marvel.
Iron Man's in the
Oh,
2-0.
well.
Iron Man won both of his episodes.
Yeah. For some reason, I always think Batman won that one. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
Because he
Goku's
should've.
in the 0-2 club as well. Unless, I mean,
mean-
you could say that he's in the 1-3 club if you want, but like his only win was against himself. So you could also argue he's in the 0-4 club.
Yeah.
No, what happened was the Stardust
if you
Breaker
wanna
just killed the
argue a
Goku and
loss-
Vegeta.
If you want to argue a win against Shadow and himself, and then a loss against Thor and himself, Vegeta's 2 for 2.
Oh my
I am the
God.
prince of all dumbasses.
I'm trying to think. who
I am
else.
I am the prince of the Saiyans, El Taker Supreme.
He at least cuts it even.
Oh, Tommy Oliver's in the 0-2 club technically.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Godzilla's in
Damn
the
it.
2-0 club because Kiryu is just Godzilla in a new skin.
He's just classic Zilla.
Yeah, but that's
Uh,
stupid.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, we're also saying if we say Tommy Oliver's in the 0-2 club, you could argue that no, because one of them is the Green Ranger in the Dragon's
Well,
Lair, and the
because
other one's the White
no.
Ranger in the Tiger's
So
Lair.
I want to say one of them is Tommy with a different pair of clothes on in a different robot. The other is Godzilla's bones and soul inside of a vessel
Yeah,
that is not
Godzilla's
his.
soul, and in his
wearing
bones.
different.
It is
wearing
his
a different
bones.
It's not
pair
the
of
same thing. It
clothes.
is
is
not
the
the
same.
same thing as
It
wearing
is.
a different Ranger color. It
He
is not the
he
same
is
thing.
basically wearing different flesh on top of his bones. That's all that's happened.
Wearing different flesh and wearing different clothes is not the same thing.
That he
For Godzilla, who
it
doesn't
is.
wear
There is-
clothes, it kinda
there is
is.
literally a comic where he just lets himself get ripped apart and then just regrows himself around the stuff that ripped them apart to fuse with
But he
it
doesn't-
and become a super
doesn't
Satan
wear
Godzilla.
clothes,
That's
so-
Do you think
canon.
that ever be, do you think past
that's-
the Tokyo SOS versus Mechagodzilla like timeline that we saw, You eventually became a problem because Godzilla started regenerating and flesh started pouring out of it.
That would be
Ew.
really cool. I mean, really gross,
Ew.
but it'd be really cool. That'd be some Evangelion
Grody.
type shit.
Yeah.
That would be nasty.
I mean, it's already kind of some Evangelion type
Oh,
shit.
you know what?
I guess-
Charizard's also 0-2.
Charizard's O2. If you the reverse of Tommy Oliver would be Flash, because it's two Flashes, but they're technically different guys.
Yeah.
So Flash is 2-0, 3-0 technically,
Fla-
but they're all
Flash in
different
general,
versions.
yeah. Flash in general is 3-0 because
But they're all
just
different
OP as
versions
shit.
of the Flash. One of which is the jerk version.
I'll wait for Jay Garrick to get in and somehow lose.
I'd be pissed off. I love Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick is.
I would be too. He's my favorite Flash.
I absolutely adore Jay Garrick. He's amazing.
He's the best. He's my favorite Flash. On's a close second.
For some reason, I nearly said Joker. He's only been in one episode though. Why was I?
He
thinking
should be in a
Joker?
second one
He
though.
should
I
be in a
love
second
Joker
one.
and Goblin.
Joker is a character who definitely should come back.
Goblin.
I
I think it's kind of fucking stupid that he fought Sweet Tooth
Yeah,
in
we know.
quotation marks to begin with.
yeah.
It's like,
Didn't
was
we talk
Joker
about that
versus
when we
Green
reacted
Goblin
to
not
it?
higher requested than
I think
anything
it
to
was
do with
probably just
Twisted
a matter
Metal?
if they wanted to do Twisted Metal more than they wanted to do Joker. Probably. That feels like the logic that would lead to that episode, as opposed to you lead from Joker
Okay.
into let's do Sweet Tooth.
So by that logic, you think they'd get his name right?
I mean, they did call him.
If they were going to use him over the Green Goblin because they prefer him, you'd think they'd know his name is not Sweet Tooth. That's his truck.
They did call him Needles Cane in the episode. They just named it Sweet Tooth because they would get more clicks. The same way that like
is
My
what
favorite
literally
death battle:
everyone
Captain
calls him.
America versus Batmobile.
I
That
mean,
is
the
what
difference
literally
is
everyone calls
Batman
him.
isn't more well known than Batmobile. This is a similar situation to like Pokemon versus Digimon or Skyrim Dark Souls. Unless that Charizard was named Pokemon and Ty made a habit of calling his Agumon Digimon, or the
Now,
guy
see,
playing the Dragonborn decided to
difference
name him
is-
Skyrim, and the guy playing the
difference
Undead
is-
decided to call him Dark Souls.
Those are the names of their games or franchises. Name of the franchise is not Sweet Tooth. The name of the franchise is Twisted Metal. You have named him his car. You haven't
No,
named
they-
him his franchise.
They
you haven't
did
named him his
Car
name.
is what everyone
they did
already
that because
fucking
it would
calls
get more
him.
clips. It would get more clicks.
Everyone calls
More
him
people
Sweet
would click
Tooth.
on it. More people would look up Joker versus Sweet Tooth over Joker versus Needles Cane. More people know him as Sweet Tooth because when you select to play him in Twisted Metal,
selecting the
you're
car.
selecting the car, not the character.
Yeah.
So that's probably why it happened. You know, they also
Funny enough,
like,
in the new
Yeah.
in the new Twisted Metal series, I'm pretty sure he calls himself Sweet Tooth later in the show.
well, that's
I mean,
stupid.
so that's funny.
That's stupid, and he shouldn't do that. That's dumb.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently, I'm pretty sure if what Stoff told me is correct, I think his name is like Marcus, then Needles, and then he like changes it to Sweet Tooth.
So Joker versus Sweet Tooth is Joe versus Mark.
Yeah.
It's also like, I'm sure a lot of people are going to complain that it's Guts versus some guy from a video game. It's the Joker. It is the supervillain
Yeah, I mean-
versus some guy from a video
I mean,
game.
at the very least,
Versus
Needles,
a truck.
At the very least, Needles is like generally considered the de facto main character of Twisted Metal. I would say Calypso probably should have that title because he is like the main guy of the series.
Okay, but this is
is
also, I
definitely
would
the-
argue
he's
that Fire Emblem, by
the
merit
Scorpion.
of being in Smash, not even its own games, is like infinitely more popular than Twisted Metal has ever been.
At the same time, let's also consider that the only way that argument works is if you actually like the matchup of Joker versus Sweet Tooth. And like, I don't really care for it. I think Needles should fight someone with like a penchant for using crazy cars, you know, as opposed to Joker
Yeah,
who
it's
hasn't used
crazy.
the
You'd think you
hasn't used the
think
Joker
you'd put a
mobile.
racing game character against someone with consistent vehicles, and like the Joker does have a Joker mobile in the comics, but they specifically use the version
They
from
didn't
Arkham.
use
Like, I
it.
get it. I get it if it's because that's like what's.
It was the
That's
only
like the only
they
model
had.
you could get.
Yeah,
the only
if
model.
it's the
Yeah,
only
but
model
it's
they
one
have.
from like a
At the
dream
same time-
sequence.
Yeah, it doesn't actually
Yeah,
exist.
it doesn't exist.
Like Joker
It's
imagined
the
this
same
fight.
kind of thing.
I saw it in a dream.
It's the same
Batman.
kind of
I'm
thing
a
that
little bit
bothers
loopy
me
here.
with like fucking Luigi versus Tails, where they're like Luigi struggles to lift a large radish. It's like that game is a dream. That's the like one of the biggest twists in video games.
Shit.
It's
Like
the
imagine
same way that people
Joker
bring
Sweet
up,
Tooth was just a
They
dream,
didn't
and then
beat
like
Mario 2.
Joker wakes up, like after the dream of beating Sweet Tooth, and he just starts going, "When I first appeared, the bat was supposed to slay me," because he sees he's fighting a different clown now.
Yeah.
If they do
but-
Joker
Do
versus
another.
Pennywise, I'm going to actually scream, like in anger.
So I
Put him against.
recall
Just
in
have him fight
s-
Goblin.
I,
Jesus.
I'm
Sonic
not
Mario
the biggest
2.
fan of Joker versus Green Goblin, but like here's the thing, that's a matchup that like actually works for a fight.
If you're
the
gonna do
biggest fan
Lex
of Joker
versus
versus
Doctor
Goblin.
fucking
If
Doom,
you're gonna do Lex versus
you
Dr.
might
Doom,
as
you might as
well
well do
do
Joker, Green
Goblin
Goblin, yeah.
and Joker. Because come on, at least that one's slightly
At the
more
very
interesting.
at the very least, like I don't think Joker has a better option from Marvel. The way I think the way I think Doom has a better option from DC.
I don't think Joker has a better option in general. His other most popular is Junko and Ishima, and it's like
No,
my friends that like
who?
that
I would
matchup.
actually fucking
Fair
hate
enough.
that.
I am a big Danganronpa fan, and I think Joker versus or any Junko matchup sucks balls.
The-
She is a high
the
school
biggest
girl
issue-
with incredible analytical abilities and a baseball bat. She can't just summon Monokumas. That's Monica's job. She's the one in charge of those, not Junko.
If I may interject, I have heard the argument in favor of the matchup. Oh, but wouldn't it be so cool to see Joker fight a horde of Monokumas? It's like, assuming you give that to her, this is the Joker, not a fucking Dynasty Warriors character.
Joker's just going to
I'm
get
in a
fucking
spot
mauled.
of trouble right now. I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to do against an army of building-sized bears.
That's a lot of
And there's
fucking
also, like,
bears, and I don't have
on
my
one
dream
hand,
car.
What
I've met
the
a
fuck
lot
am I
of-
supposed
like,
to do
a lot
against
of my
that?
friends who are Danganronpa fans are pretty cool, and if they want this
Building
matchup,
size.
cool, and if it happens, cool. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be really fucking annoying
Well,
about it.
I'm your friend.
Building
I'm a
size
Danganronpa
Monokuma
fan, and you
appears
know
in front
what?
of Joker.
It sucks.
Like,
do not
building
want-
size Monokuma appears in front of Joker, and he's like,
Okay,
That's funny.
funny.
I think the only
just get
Danganronpa
stepped on.
character who has the significance and the enough stuff to be on Death Battle is Monokuma. I think there are other ones that are funny matchups for Danganronpa. Junko's matchups aren't funny because people take him seriously. It's like the difference between Springtrap versus Darth Vader. That's funny. I like that one because it's
I
amusing.
mean, there's also the issue with, like, of every clip I've ever seen of her, I think I fucking hate Junko. I don't think I like her at all.
Nah, Junko's she's good in the first game, because it is a surprise, more or less, in that first game when she turns out to be the bad guy, and like there's a lot of intrigue to her because we don't know how she did what she did, so it's interesting. There's a mystery there. As a character, she's never been much, but then they bring her back in Super Danganronpa 2, and she's first of all, it's not Junko. It's not Junko. People who use AI Junko in a battle, it's not Junko. It's an AI that's replicating her like mentality. You can't. Why did people want Afton versus Junko to become Glitch Trap versus AI Junko? Because before the Mimic was a thing, sure, Glitch Trap was Afton. Alter Ego Junko was never Junko. That's an AI. If I made an AI based on me, that's not suddenly me. If I die and you jump into the computer to fight my AI, you're not fighting me, you're fighting a copy. But she's annoying in Super Danganronpa 2. I get what they were going for, because the whole game is meant to like rhyme with the first one, but it's not great. And then in Danganronpa 3, the anime, she's really fucking annoying, and aside from the dub, which gives us some really funny, unintentionally lines, learning actually how she took over, how she destroyed the world, kind of took away the best part of her character, which is the mystery of how she did it. That was lame. And then she comes back in V3 again, but it's also not her again. Okay.
To summarize, every clip I have ever seen of Junko is just her being loud, vulgar, and being like, haha, look how crazy I am. And I'm like,
That is
no,
that is one of her
no."
personalities. Yeah, she's got a bunch of different I think the reasoning is she's not crazy in that sense. She just gets bored of her own personality. So one of them happens to be very vulgar and loud. Another one is very shy. Another one is depressed. Another one is the annoying, haughty one. Another one is just sort of like her normal. Her best personality is just when she's normal and when she's neutral. Because that's where she's at her best. But she can give off an annoying aura, and she's definitely not making a good first impression on anyone unless you actually play the game. But how many people are going to play Danganronpa without any knowledge of who Junko is beforehand, right?
Yeah.
So
That said, too, like, to be fair to Junko, and this may just be an English dub problem for Danganronpa. Like, there are very few scenes I've seen from the Danganronpa games that have been tolerable to me, where it's just like, way these characters speak and carry themselves just irritate me. They just annoy me.
Yeah, I can see that. I still don't get why people are pining for Junko in Death Battle. Like, I could get it if it was, like, fucking Sakura Ogami, who I still think shouldn't be on there, or if it was, like, a joke, like Byakuya Togami. Why Junko? Why Junko? Why Junko? And why seriously? It's so dumb. And, like you were right to bring up Joker versus an army of anything. What is Joker going to do? Bust out the Joker venom on a bunch of robots?
Yeah. And see, like, while I do get the appeal of something like fucking Joker versus Anthrax or whatever the fuck from Gargoyles.
Xanatos. So Anthrax would be a better name.
Xanatos. I do get the appeal, but at the same time, far and away one of the least interesting, or like, I guess just one of my least favorite eras of Norman Osborn is Iron Patriot or anything to do with that.
And most fans
like,
of Joker versus not Joker versus Xanatos, of Goblin versus Xanatos have come around to say, actually, no, don't do Iron Patriot, that would be lame, just let him be Goblin against Xanatos, why not?
I just would want to see
but it's like,
Xanatos. That'd be the reason I'm in it.
I can't imagine they wouldn't, like, do something Iron Patriot related for it just for the sake of, like, having it there.
But
at the same time, it's just like, on one hand, I do really like Norman Osborn as a character when he's just being Norman, because he's still a fucking sadistic, awful shithead, but it's also interesting to see how, like, diplomatic he can be. On the other hand, one of my favorite parts about Green Goblin as a character and a villain, and the reason he has been my favorite Spider-Man villain since I was a child, is balancing out that, like, diplomatic and more subdued side with the cackling fucking maniac throwing exploding pumpkins at people.
I guess I wouldn't complain if the fight starts with just Norman and David just talking in business suits, and then when it escalates to a fight, it starts with Iron Patriot, but that's just like a decoy so that Norman can go get into the Goblin suit. Like, that would be neat as a way to work Iron Patriot in.
It's like, I can imagine, as far as the fight between Joker and Goblin going, obviously, both of them have a fucking plethora of, like, weird novelty, like, goofy-ass weapons, like nets that are shaped like ghosts and, like, screaming frog robots versus, like, fucking acid pies or, like, chattering teeth explosives, like boxing gloves on springs. I can imagine it going from, like, obviously, Green Goblin, being that he's Norman Osborn, is going to be like, oh, well, obviously I have, like, the mental higher ground against this guy. I'm going to get under his skin and really, like, get him to, you know, wipe that smile off his face. But, you know, the Joker, being the manipulative shitbag he is going to find what gets under Norman's skin, and by the end of it, genuinely be irritating the fuck out of him.
I know what gets under Norman's skin. A knife.
And, like, I can even imagine a thing where, like,
just been ignored.
Like, Goblin throws his razor bats at him, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's real original."
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
And I can imagine throwing him and him compared to the Batarangs, or I can imagine fucking like, perhaps Joker's gotten a little too comfortable with fucking with people like Batman or
with
Superman and saying, "Ha ha, you're not going to kill me." Where it's like, no, the Green Goblin's going to fucking murder you. Well, he will actually kill you.
Is it bad that whenever I rewatch Spider-Man 1, I completely forgot that when the glider's flying towards him, there's a small, like, 1 second scene of him just going, oh.
I
forgot that.
Like, he's self-aware. He's aware.
I love the scene where he's having a conversation with Spider-Man, and as he's, like, sitting down next to him, he just slaps him in the head.
Bingo.
I have to sign in to confirm my age to watch Batman Spider-Man. I'm not doing that. Like, we can't watch
nothing
Batman.
they love more than to watch a hero fall.
Nothing more amazing.
Never know when some lunatic in a mask is gonna force you to make a sadistic decision.
I can't watch Joker Street
Die
2.
the woman you love, suffer the children.
Damn it.
We are who we choose to be. Now choose.
We already did Raven Twilight last time.
Yes, we did. Fuck. So look up the playlist. I don't know.
Let's watch an episode that had Phoenix in it, apparently, according to some people.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and
Huh?
sell
Robin Hood
stocks,
versus
ETFs, options,
King
and
Arthur, the
cryptos,
lamest
all
matchup
commission-
of all time.
This one's so fucking short too.
It's funny.
kinda
I
sad. I
actually
like
like
it.
a lot of
I
like a lot of stuff in this episode.
yeah, same.
Like
I like
Shazam,
this.
Shazam carries clearly.
He would carry no matter fucking what. Unless it's like anime mommy Captain Marvel, no one fucking likes her anymore.
I think it's weird that he blows up someone's car and then an ATM is where he
Jesus.
gets like concerned about it.
Honestly, he
just-
does seem like the kind of guy to be like that.
I do like
I-
that some
I
angles
really-
for Captain Marvel, she has the fattest ass in the world.
I do really want Shazam He-Man, honestly. I just think it'd be fun.
I'd like that. That'd be sick as hell.
Especially if they're just like both acting incredibly childish. Like, because, you know,
Shazam go
Adam's
all
a
out.
goofball
That'd be
and Billy's
fucking
an actual kid.
I think one of my favorite crossover comic moments is
Punch
when
it out.
He-Man is being controlled to like attack Lion-O. And Lion-O's like, on one hand, this guy's my friend, but on the other hand, like, I never realized how strong
Yeah,
this dude is. He
I
might
do.
actually beat me to
I
death.
love that
He might
comic.
actually
That
fucking
comic where
kill
like
me.
they don't even pretend like the two are on equal levels. Like Lionel's like, holy shit, this guy's fucking
Lion-O's like,
hench.
I need to think my
Hey,
way
man,
out of
this
this, or
fucking
he's
bullshit.
going to beat me to death. I
Wait,
do not stand
I-
a chance.
a lot of crossovers make characters like equal strength. I like they didn't even try what they've done. They made it more interesting.
As I am.
My favorite part of that comic though is just like Skeletor and
Holy
Mumra just like
moly.
insulting each other back and forth while in the same
Damn.
body.
Yeah.
Her head looks so weird when you notice the hard cut off.
I
before
didn't
they
know he
fire.
could do that. I can write a book about what you don't know.
Skeletor.
My favorite part of this fight probably is just like the ending where Shazam just gets serious and just fucking mollywops her. Like when he gets serious, she
One of my
just stands
favorites-
no chance at all, and it's amazing.
One of my favorite Skeletor moments ever is him knocking on, I think it's fucking,
He's been nice this
jar or
whole
whatever.
time.
Yeah, like this is
where
the
he
point
knocks
where
on
like
his head and he goes, just as I thought, hollow.
Keep up.
yeah, I like how this is like Shazam just gets pissed off like fuck off, woman.
Bam, 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 bam.
It's
Be
time for the
gone,
misogyny
thought.
fist.
Terrifying.
Just fuck off. That should have been a black hole though. I've said it before.
Oop.
The whole thing was like this is too
Premium.
brutal. This is too brutal. We gotta stop you from watching how brutally he just destroyed her. Nah, like that.
believe I will.
If they do Shazam again, he needs to have that moment with He-Man, but He-Man actually like keeps up and just does it
He
back
just
to him.
lives.
Hell, have
It's
He-Man
like,
just like
oh, shit,
have
that
He-Man
worked
just
last
throw
time.
the sword away and just start fucking boxing him. Just like yeah, you want to just punch it out? Fine, we'll just punch it out.
God, that fucking shoe.
I wonder if that face
Why
is like,
does
oh, that
Billy
shoe,
keep it?
that shoe stinks, man.
That shoe smells. Why does he fucking take it though?
It's nasty.
It's nasty as hell. It's also mine now. Mm.
This battle
That is
circumvented
weird,
both
yeah.
Marvel and Shazam to their
They
Now
never
let's watch the
swing.
other Android 8, or other Android 18 episode, other Captain Marvel, other Phoenix episode, other Android
As soon as
18
it loads.
And maybe people were saying that like because they compared Captain Marvel to the Phoenix in both episodes, that Phoenix already lost to Shazam and Android 18 by proxy. Which that would be a
It's
stupid
still so
argument.
weird that Android 18 is on Death Battle before Piccolo is. Piccolo or Gohan, for that matter.
Yeah, that is weird. Or Frieza, or
Yeah,
Cell,
or Frieza, or Cell.
or Krillin, or fucking anyone with actual relevancy to the series beyond like showing up and just fucking her husband.
And, like, also, to be clear, that's not me, like, dissing 18 because she's a woman. That's Toriyama dissing 18 because she's a woman.
18's a
Put
cool
her in her
character. She's
box.
just not exactly a relevant character.
Is a cool character, but Toriyama, as much as I love Dragon Ball, I fucking wish he would give any of the female characters something to do in
There
the
is a
story.
dark part of me that wants to look up a Devil Artemis video right now.
No,
No.
no.
I can do it.
We will be sitting here in abject silence the entire time because no one's gonna laugh.
I'll be
None of
laughing
us are
at
gonna
you.
You're gonna laugh at nothing because no one's gonna say anything funny.
I'm gonna laugh at the silence. Like the silence is gonna be funnier than the episode.
It's funny because you're not talking.
It's like,
It's Kermit with a
I've said it before.
Oh!
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, he's a good animator, and he seems like a swell enough guy. I do not find his humor very funny.
I'm gonna look up Selva's Power Rangers because I feel like that's a good example of the non-jokes that he writes. Like I don't
Son
care.
of a
I don't care
bitch.
if we're silent. This is only a minute long. The viewers can get an idea of what we
Oh,
mean
you
when we
can
say
watch
that
this.
he
But you
writes
can't watch
non-jokes.
others.
Look at the complete lack of joke in this.
Why did they put a voice filter over him? That's not how Power Rangers work.
With attitude. What are you guys going
That's true, yeah.
to shit talk me on Twitter?
We'll use our weapons
Yes.
to defeat you.
Weapons don't work on me.
Why is it a radio like filter? Like not like
Sounds like a Halo helmet.
like not like a filter you would get from wearing a helmet. Just like
We'll summon our ultimate weapon.
Look at
the
him gyrating
Megazord.
behind him.
It's a Megazord.
It's a combination of all our robots.
Look, only their upper halves are moving. That's
that is
creepy.
really creepy. Yeah.
You're gonna fight me with a fucking robot?
Technically, you're part robot.
Do you realize that I can blow up the entire fucking solar system?
Wait, what?
I can literally flick my finger right now, and this entire planet would go poof.
Well then,
Oh, the Megazord
you know
would survive
what?
that.
We'll just call our newest
I was gonna say, can't Tommy
You
also?
fucking do it,
Hey,
Yeah, Tommy could survive it.
you mind coming down?
son of a bitch!
What?
but
What was that?
yeah, the Power Rangers would survive the planet blowing up, and they're faster. They're a lot faster than you, Cell. Like way faster. They can like fly
Tommy
to the other
solar
end of.
system level. Or have I been lied to?
I don't know if he'd scale physically to anything.
Don, would you know that? Don?
Don. Oh
Don?
my God, he's dead.
I know it wasn't funny, but I didn't think it'd be unfunny enough to kill
Oh
you.
my God, he's dead.
You killed him, Nem, by showing him this.
Why was that funnier than the whole
Ugh.
video?
Because it's a joke. Unlike this isn't a joke.
I think I'll spare Betty
See,
one.
this is fun.
that the mitochondria is your powerhouse?
It's just fucking Deadpool.
Pretty sure I just manslaughtered Spider-Man.
Jesus, really? Gonna drop that golden oldie at the start?
Hold on, how are you?
Alive? Haha, mutant, friendo. Well, mutate specifically, but whatever. Let me properly introduce myself. I'm your deadly neighborhood Deadpool.
So you're one of those X-Mans.
Didn't they reference Death Battle at the end of this one?
No. I mean,
Yes,
I helped
they
him out
reference
Yeah.
at the
Goku and
time,
Superman.
but that's like when the world's
And
in
you know,
danger.
Deadpool, Deathstroke.
Zero to pissed in a moment.
Am I the only one who kind of prefers this Deadpool over
This
Taka's?
thing isn't called Cell versus the X-Men.
Yeah,
okay?
they don't
It
really
ain't
sound
Cell
different
versus
enough
the
to matter to me.
Avengers
Like
or Cell
they're both
versus
just
the
Deadpool.
Defenders. It's
It's a
Deadpool
small difference
versus
that I
Cell.
enjoy.
Got it?
Mm.
I took a pay cut to make that
So is your shtick that you're insane or just, lol, I'm so random?
happen. My shtick is that I've been contracted to assassinate your thorax.
The thought of a hired gun never crossed my mind.
Yep.
Mine neither.
Can't quite give away the identity of my employer, but
I do like how Cell just completely pegs everything about Deadpool like in like one sentence.
What? No, you
I like that most of this, it's like 75% Taka.
It's our job to make that bedrock, okay? Alright. Okay, bye. Alright, Mr. Lee. It's happening.
Excelsior, Ghost Napper.
I'm not a gu- It's been like a season.
He didn't get Spider-Man Deadpool, but he did get
He did get
Deadpool Wolverine.
yeah.
Also,
I mean, who's to say
he gave
Spider-Man
me
won't show up?
Nothing like you.
True.
Oh, absolutely not.
Ew.
With introductions out of the way, I'm gonna make you into bug sashimi with these swords.
Swords. Buddy, I've got a boy with lavender hair who can give you a rundown on how poorly that's gonna work out for where is my arm?
Yoo-hoo.
I stand corrected. Also lopsided.
It's called adamantium, Shelly, and it's the slice.
I don't actually know if he has adamantium swords.
metal ever made. Hey, this is
I don't remember.
Yeah,
What did Deadpool? What did Death Battle give him? They gave him like.
Well, probably not
Carbonadium,
adamantium,
that's
given
what
like
they did.
Deathstroke just shatters them.
They gave him like carbonadium sword, I think.
They gave him the carbonadium sword, but like
That's a different sword from his katanas, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, that's fair. It's actually not adamantium, it's carbonadium. I
Well,
deserve
there you
that.
go.
there you go. Although
Deadpool's just a fucking liar.
I do like Zell just vibing with the idea of just killing him over and over.
Now listen here,
I like
you
that he's not
overgrown
moving
rat
from the
toy.
ragdoll position.
Deadpool just doesn't care.
Okay, that's it. I'm pretty sure I'm losing memories of my childhood now. And while I'm more than happy to part with my dear memories of Uncle Mickey and his van, I can't risk losing the first time I touched a boob at chess camp.
Listen.
You can't risk that,
Can I call
Deadpool.
you DP?
You can call me whatever you want while I'm carving you out like a goddamn tauntaun.
DP.
Ah, my tips!
I get what you're doing.
Didn't even destroy anything important.
You make jokes, kill
It was
your
like
allies,
the tips.
and repeat. It's not
Right.
even that funny. So how about you take your swords, your guns, and your references, and
Oh, sorry, Shelley.
He's sitting on his hands.
And I'm the best there is at what I do. Making Arthur AMVs set to Papa Roach. But second to that is killing dudes. And there ain't no way you're getting rid of me until I've murdered
That feels like it'd be a comfy chair. Oh,
You just want to feel Cell's hands on your ass.
you know what? This is perfect because it actually references the Phoenix.
Hey, yeah, this is relevant.
What do you want?
We need you back at the mansion. It's a code Phoenix.
She's fighting a giant black bird.
Oh, like yeah, he's like the Phoenix exists, and Cell just doesn't realize there's something way stronger than him, like on the other side of the planet.
Wade, get here.
Also, Don, if you're talking, we still can't hear you.
Next time I see you, I'll...
I'm being very polite here.
Being very polite, letting you have this conversation. I'm very pissed at you.
I love that line.
I love that so much. I've used that before. That's how much I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think
I'm being very polite. I'm very pissed at you.
Mhm.
I remember X3 just because Juggernaut's in it.
I remember X3. That's a very. I love how fucking.
I think it's an
nothing that movie
overhated
is.
movie.
Really, I don't give a shit. I was just here to waste time.
If you gave me a choice between watching that and X1, I'd probably watch X3 just because it's at least entertainingly bad.
Adios,
Number one's kind of boring.
Goku, my condolences about Superman.
No, Betty White's had her time.
Yeah, she's dead now.
She's still alive?
Nope.
I don't think she is.
Shink, under the road.
Oh, I hope your sequel bombs.
And it
doesn't bother regrowing his head.
500-pound gorilla-shaped foe.
Hey, dickbag, we're doing the annotations. We only got 20 seconds. So,
Take your recommended videos and upload them to your sphincter, you wannabe piece of crap. They had the perfect opportunity to make Curtis Takahata 101 Arnott. Follow him on Twitter and Twitch at Takahata 101. Go toe-to-toe with himself, but they passed him up for it. Okay, I'm sorry.
They
who
could have
are
just
you?
put Cell against Alucard.
Yeah, that
They
don't
eventually
rhyme
did
with
that.
Ryan Reynolds, Poland Porth, or even Kill Beetle. So you're kind of starving for excuses here. I was in Death Battle.
that wouldn't be the first time they got something wrong.
Oh, you think so?
You're
Because
right.
I'll bet dicks for
'Cause
dollars
they haven't
and
gotten
more
me
50
yet.
Freaking comments bitching about me getting snubbed.
Slow your miscast roll, not pool. Oh, bitch. Just because you're the most popular doesn't mean they're beholden. You gotta experiment. Give someone else a chance, yeah?
I agree, other Deadpool.
You'll always be the DBDP. And as you've made it quite clear, that's definitely a thing.
You know, and they
Yeah, it just gets less.
And you did do a good
It
job.
gets
I guess,
less
so
impressive being
sorry
the
about
Death
that.
Battle Deadpool
Would you
as the
wanna-
years go on.
I don't know. Go get some.
Chimichangas? According to the internet, yes. Yes, I would.
You know, Tom Kenny played us once.
Yeah, and Steve Bloom.
Really?
And
In what?
Dio.
Actually, let's just drop the subject.
Yeah, Dio played Deadpool once. Wasn't that neat?
I don't know my dog played Deadpool. Signing to confirm my age. I'll sign to
Okay,
confirm your age,
try- I
motherfucker.
was gonna say, try this one. Yeah, those usually 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Holy
This is a
shit.
long fight. This is like.
Is it really 7 whole minutes?
Doesn't feel like 7 minutes. Like it feels
Maybe it also
so good.
maybe it has the conclusion.
Come on.
I don't know.
Me. What? Am I right? Yeah, I am.
You're right.
I like how Deadpool just peaked in his first episode.
Listen, Deadpool, the reason Deathstroke is
Oh,
more
Don,
wanted
I
than
think I
you is
hear you.
because he's a pedophile and you're not.
I heard Don for a second,
Joe, can I get popcorn first? I hope they have salt and pepper shakers. I love it.
and now I can't.
Bye.
Bang.
Did Deathstroke have the pedo thing when this happened? I don't remember. I don't know how old that was.
What? The fight's kind of loud.
Fight is a bit loud. Let me turn it down. Oh, it's nearly max volume. That better be why.
So what were you saying?
Well, did Deathstroke have the pedo thing like back then?
I'm pretty sure it was in the Teen Titans show, like it's alluded to in the
Oh,
2000s cartoon.
I do like how he reloads his guns there. That's cool.
Yeah,
He just
with
got the
ankles.
clips on his legs, and he just fucking
Bro,
Perfectly aimed.
Now we go Donatello style.
This is very much like Arkham Deathstroke, who was like really cool in that one boss fight that sucked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got the awesome boss fight in Origins, then he's got the shit boss fight in Night where he's in a tank the whole time.
I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan of the Origins boss fight either. I just found it kind of annoying.
I like the Origins boss fight. Kind of forces you to get good at the combat system, which I was already great at because I played Arkham City 50 fucking times.
I was already good at it, but like it just felt unfair at points where I'd be like, oh, I literally don't have the frames to dodge that.
Oh shit.
I like how the quality of this recording is like nothing.
Yeah. It's not very good, but whatever.
But the fight's so good that I don't care. I like how the swords look like lightsabers after Deathstroke breaks them.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm fucking sick of you, dude.
What the fuck was that?
It's a laser stick.
Oh, fuck. Hello, Gmod. Whee.
Oh, I heard him for a second.
I did too. It was like...
It was like, hello, and then... Shit. Now I can't hear him again. What's going on?
Maybe equipment? That'd be my guess.
Oh, I'm not sure what's happening.
Default male number 5. Ah, shit.
This part of the fight is still ear rape, though.
Hey, yeah, because the fucking gun, and then the truck. I remember when he shoots the truck and it like starts veering off, it is loud as shit.
Oh, he said E.
Alright, you need to keep quitting and joining back to say letters so we know what you're saying.
Okay, that was an R. That was an ER.
Wait, emergency room?
Oh my god, the Devil Artemis really did kill him. He's in the ER.
Shit. I love that this suit was used in the Deadpool game for like 5 minutes. And it's just, oh, there we go.
I like how it
It's
just
used in-
happens and then they never address it really. Deathstroke's like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
It's used
alright,
in a
that might as
freaking
well-
walk-around section
that might
and in
as
a
well happen.
cutscene.
And then Torian decided to make him fight with it.
Yeah. It's an awesome... I like the costume. I wish
Deathstroke
he
really
used
has
it
the
more,
has the
honestly.
energy right now of, yeah, that might as well happen.
Here it is. This is gonna be loud.
I mean, this is like a
Jesus
boss.
fucking Christ.
I didn't expect that to happen. Okay, that one's on me.
expect a 20-car pile-up.
That's my bad, Deadpool. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. Fuck you.
Stop breathing so hard.
Fuck.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
God, 2 blobs are fighting each other.
It's like the quality went from like 140p to like 2p.
Yeah, holy shit.
Holy shit, there's like... You can count the pixels. This is not 360. No.
It only goes to 360.
It goes to 360. I refuse to believe that this is currently 360p. I've seen 360p. I was here in the
Yeah.
days of old YouTube where 360p was considered HD. This is not 360p.
I don't know
Oh
what
my-
he's saying when he got hit.
Oh, my
I love
third
it.
leg is so big.
Whoa, really?
He's basically saying he's got a huge cock.
You might want to lay low for a couple days. You are.
I got a huge penis while I'm exploding.
Oh. What's the next letter?
It's a Deathstroke kebab.
Oops.
Whoops. Hang on. Give me a sec. This is gonna hurt.
Oh, that would hurt. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other guy.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think
still
that
think it's
pulling your
his
sword
sword
out of
just
you is
pokes
hurt.
through the damn floor.
Oh. Oh, I didn't realize my sword hurts this much. Is this what I'm doing to people all the time? Oh my
Bro, I
god.
got a hole in my chest.
I'm an asshole.
Carbonadium sword, murdering all your pesky Wolverines and Sabretooth.
Okay, but is that sword of legal age?
Oh yeah, Sabretooth, the guy who has no good matchups. What the fuck?
All the children in the audience, cover your eyes.
Ow.
Shit.
Ow.
Alright, now I'm fully blind. You asshole.
Great, now I'm blind. How do you feel? Do you like beating up cripples?
Pretty good. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, Professor X and all that, give him a good kick out of the chair every now and again, you know.
Deadpool wins. This is totally racist. Hey, chimichanga. Oh,
Jesus Christ, his hood ornament.
The hood ornament Deathstroke is great. I'm gonna leave the call and come back and see if that fixes the Don thing. Oh, Don just said, fuck, I am a
fixed
ghost.
it?
I've been dead this whole time, you insensitive shit stain.
This fucking sucks. Oh my, what? Fuck you.
No, thank you.
You're just as bad as me.
I disagree.
Oh god, I've got to abridge the Ruby versus JLA movie. I'm just imagining if Deathstroke shows up in the next one, that's gonna be really uncomfortable.
shit.
Like, I know that everyone other than Ruby is like legal age, but like,
Not audible this time. I'm going to fucking euthanize.
there he
myself.
is. There he is.
I
Did me
Am-
leaving? Did me leaving and coming back end up fixing it? That'd be
Give
so.
me a
yeah,
sec,
it
I can't
seems to
hear him.
have. If you can hear me.
Shut up. Oh wait, he couldn't hear you. He
Wait,
couldn't hear you just then. Can you hear
can we
him?
talk?
Can you hear me?
There he is, yes.
There he is.
So it's a problem on you guys' end. You guys fucking suck. I'm
How was I
fucking
supposed to
livid.
know?
And
How was I
I
supposed to
am
know?
livid.
I think it's more Discord's problem than anything.
Yeah, let's blame Discord. Fucking asshole. Go drink
It's
your
definitely not
glass.
my fucking fault.
Because I have been here disconnecting and connecting every device I have from the internet to Discord, push to talk, muting myself, changing my input devices,
Yeah, we
doing
noticed.
everything I can, and
We
it's been
noticed,
on you guys' ends. I could hear every fucking word of it. I could hear every fucking word of it, and you guys couldn't hear me.
Yeah, but it was funny,
You,
huh?
so were you in the ER? Did we get your Morse code correctly?
No. When you said ER, the word I said was fuck.
Not even close. Okay, good. Fuck.
Because I could hear every single word you guys were saying, so you guys are like, okay, give us syllables, we'll try to make out what it is. I said fuck, and you said, okay, and I'm like, no, not
It
even
sounded
close.
Like, you'll be able to hear in the video. It sounded like you went,
It did sound like her.
Thank you. It's like you were grunting.
Fuck.
God. So, the last thing that I heard, the last thing that I watched that you guys were able to hear me for was I heard Cell say, you guys know I can blow up, and then it cut out for me, and so I left that. I tried doing everything in my fucking power to join back, and it's you guys.
So could Tommy Oliver survive the solar system blowing up? He can survive the planet blowing up. Could he survive the solar system blowing up?
In the mainline continuity, no. He would get to, I think, at best, large planet level. But, if you want to be stupid and scale, every, like, Power Ranger, or, like, if you want to be stupid and scale Power Rangers to their Super Sentai counterparts, and then be even dumber, and say that every Super Sentai team scales to each other because they've crossed over and fought with each other before, then you could maybe make an argument for, like, being comparable to stuff in Zenkaiger where attacks could affect and cross, like, galaxies in, like, 3 seconds or something like that. Possibly the entire observable universe. But,
I mean, there are
if we
Sentai
take the
in-
comics, then, we give Tommy his half of, I think it's called, like, the Heart of the Grid or something like that. Essentially, there were 2 halves of it, and I think the one half that Tommy himself held, or, like, maybe he had the whole of it or something like that, allowed him to match, like, Lord Draken's power. Because I think the reason Draken was, like, needing all of this morphin power was so that he could get to his, like, half of the heart so he could control all of reality and rewrite it as he saw fit. And then Tommy takes half of it and is able to fight him. That would put him on Draken's same level of, I think, like, what, like, infinite multiversal?
Multi-plus.
Yeah, multi-plus. So, if you're giving Tommy his absolute peak of power that he has ever had, then yes. But if you're taking him as he normally is, then no, absolutely
I
not.
will say, when you bring up Sentai crossing, I think there are plenty of Sentais that do cross over with each other. I don't know if they all cross over with every single one and scale though, but there are multiple Super Sentai series where like there's just a villain who can destroy the universe, and like that's a big deal. And they
Okay,
just scale.
so within Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, there I believe is the same scene that happens in Power Rangers Super Mega Force, where it's just every single previous Sentai up to that point, like every single Ranger and Sentai team, in one place at the same time to fight a common threat. Or it might have even been past Gokaiger or before it, but at the very least, assuming it goes past, I think like maybe like the 12th or 16th series. I think that's when Zyuranger happened. It was pretty early on. Assuming that one of these big crossover teams counts, then maybe through either scaling to this team, which scales to that team, which scales to that team, or through that big team up, you could scale them to stuff through Gokaiger or Zenkaiger, both of which get like pretty high up there just by virtue of scaling to everything else. And I believe it's Zenkaiger where like there are these like power amulets, each one of them being utilized is like a compacted universe, and it's like I think every universe within Super Sentai is being utilized by the main villain or something like that, or they're able to manipulate energy at that scale, which to make it simpler, I believe the character that was doing it was literally God, like literally stated to be God, like Abrahamic God. And he's like, yeah, I created and can manipulate the entire like Super Sentai multiverse, which I don't believe is infinite in scale, or at least it's not stated to or implied to be infinite in scale the same way Kamen Riders is, but at the same time it's still like well into multiversal.
I have a page here of like someone who went and took a bunch of feats from Sentai, and like there are several universal ones. There's Trojan Sentai Jetman, where a guy destroys a dimension. That one's maybe a bit debatable because like it just says dimension, not like universe.
Yeah, it's one of those things where dimension is like, if you want to interpret it as like an infinite void, then you could, but like
then
there's no reason to assume that.
Denji Sentai Mega Ranger, where King Javius holds an entire alternate universe together. That one seems a bit more blatant.
Yes.
There's QQ Sentai Go-Go 5, where someone merges with the minus energy of the universe. That, Mirai Sentai Time
for the
Ranger,
record, I
oh
want to
God.
go ahead and put this as like, I don't care if it's your channel. I'm executive vetoing it. We are never fucking watching Devil Artemis on this again.
It killed you. It killed you so bad.
And I'm already dead. That's my whole shtick. I am a ghost. I am dead to begin with.
You can't talk about fucking Vampire Hunter D and then act like, oh, we killed a ghost is weird.
Well, because Vampire Hunter D is not real. Devil Artemis is.
And you being a ghost is real?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mirai Sentai Time Ranger, a robot was going to destroy all of time. You could argue that's universal. Ninpu Sentai Hurricane fuck it. The Hurricane Rangers
Hurricaneger.
Defeat
It is,
being
it's pronounced
with the power to
Hurricaneger.
recreate the universe. I skipped over one. Magi Ranger. Hey! Magi Ranger! Oh, Magi King's Universal. Awesome.
Yeah, Magi Ranger's pretty based.
Powerful enough to destroy the entire timeline. Alright. Engine Sentai Goanga. I know Goanga as well. That Megazord does not look... Or that mech does not look nearly as cool. Can
Talks
battle...
about Decade versus Marvelous, but I posit
speak?
to you Magi Red versus Kamen Rider Wizard.
That is awesome. That's actually one of the things that, with Decade Marvelous that they should probably put in there is that clash, because that'd be cool. Like, clash the two that are wizards, clash the two originals, clash the two that are ninja, clash the two that are just robots for some reason.
Which, like, crossover, a couple of them got pretty interesting. Like, I get, like, the dual, like, baton with, Battle Fever Red and fucking, Kamen Rider... I want to say... Hibiki? No, which one? What the fuck is the music one?
Hibiki was in the fight. He's the one with the drums, like the drumsticks.
That's him?
Yeah, Hibiki's the one with the drumsticks.
Okay, then yes, it was Battle Fever versus Hibiki.
If I do that like series I've talked about with you, where I would like review all like the versus crossover films that I know of, I feel like I should do like a second tier list for like the actual fights, because there's got to be like a difference, right? Like, I love the fight between Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger, but the movie as a whole is kind of boring for a lot of it. So they definitely have different ranks. Let's see. So Go Kaiga, Babachi.
At the level of brain rot I'm at as well, I
Oh,
would
okay.
not be able to stop myself from trying to do some kind of research for each of these and trying to find out who would actually win.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Like, if I go to my list, let's see the ones that I know. I'm just gonna go to my DMs with you. I'm just gonna type in Cupid because I don't think we've ever talked about Cupid outside of Santa Claus vs. Cupid. So Santa Claus vs. Cupid.
Yeah, probably not,
Which
if I had to guess.
I have watched. There is no fight. It's not even Santa Claus vs. Cupid. That's not going on the list as much as I want to include it because it's 30 years older than the next one, but roughly. Frankenstein should beat the Wolfman pretty handily. And he should. Frankenstein Dracula was very debatable. At the time of when they did King Kong vs. Godzilla, Godzilla should have just obliterated, and that has not changed since. I don't believe Mothra in her original book or in the original film has anything to match what Godzilla had at the time either. I'm just gonna say I don't think Billy the Kid could beat Dracula. I'm just gonna say.
What if he had bullets dipped in holy water?
Well, that might be a different case. I'm pretty sure that Dracula in the novel is not faster than bullets.
Pretty sure Dracula in real life wasn't faster than bullets either.
Now, Dr. Jekyll versus the Wolfman, I think it is interesting. I imagine the Wolfman would win, though.
Now, I wanna correct you real quick. It is El Hombre Lobo, not
I
the
know it's El
Wolfman.
Hombre Lobo, but it's meant to be the Wolfman. Dracula, Frankenstein, already talking about. Marzinger versus Devilman. I don't know which Marzinger, or I assume it's meant to be like.
Yes, I do. Hello.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for.
This is going to be so. Dynamic Productions essentially was created in the first place by Go Nagai Ken Ishikawa and Go Nagai's brother. I forget his name. Because they wanted to keep the intellectual rights to their series, the same way Image Comics was. But at the same time that they were producing most of their manga series, like Getter Robo, Mazinger, and Devilman, Toei, who was like, "Hey, this guy's pretty fucking talented and popular right now." They were like, "We want you to make alternate versions of your characters," so that, or they commissioned him to make Devilman, and then when he made Mazinger, they were like, "Okay, so we want a version of Mazinger that we are pretty much free to do with as we please, but you still keep your version of Mazinger." So it is not the comic Mazinger. It would not scale to the comic Mazinger, nor would Devilman to his comic counterpart. They are two separate things. It is Toei Mazinger and Toei Devilman.
So who's stronger?
Probably Mazinger, if I had to guess, because
this would be a good excuse for you to go watch everything with them, because I'm definitely.
This would be. I have all of Toei Devilman on DVD, and I know Phantom Falcon has seen original Toei Devilman as well. So I mean that might be worth getting her on as well if she's interested.
Rena, we love her.
Yeah. At least consistently. Consistently throughout versus what I have seen is that freezing things can get you pretty fucking high depending on how quick you freeze it and what you're freezing.
Yeah.
And unlike his comic counterpart, Toei Devilman has something called the Reto Beam, and what that does is freeze things. So there's a very good chance he might just freeze a giant monster, and that gets him stupid high.
Maybe.
In the manga, it's a pretty consistent point that if Mazinger utilized the full extent of his power, he could easily destroy the world. I don't know if that's a thing in the Toei anime, but given that that's an integral part of the lore and reason that Mazinger came to be, it wouldn't surprise me if it is. And there's also all of the clips that I have seen thus far of Toei Devilman, he fights some pretty fucking big monsters, and he does things that would probably net him decent speed feats and decent energy output, but I don't know that he would be on the same level of just beating this shit out of people power that Mazinger is. That said, don't quote me for sure on any of this, because it probably could go either way.
I might watch
I'd be
the
much
Toei series before doing that as well, just for some context.
Yeah, but if I had to guess based on my general knowledge of both franchises, I would probably be leaning towards Mazinger. Now, if we were taking like Go Nagai endorsed like manga Mazinger versus manga Devilman, then it depends what you use. Because if we're just using their standard like base forms and what they have access to there, you can argue that Devilman is universal, and Mazinger usually caps out at around planet level, but could be argued universal. However, if you give Mazinger like unlimited developmental potential, and essentially if you just give him like Zero Infinity stuff, then if he becomes Mazinger Zero, he is able to casually manipulate universes to the point where, like, I think he has 7 boxes within him, each of which hold a different power. One of which is the ability to infinitely repair himself,
Is this the
infinitely
one
resize
where,
himself.
like, if he has any chance to win, he will win. Is that the one?
Yes, because Mazinger Zero, at least as I can best understand it, because it's a little convoluted, can look into the infinite like multiverse of possibilities, and then whichever universe it is where he would win the fight, so long as there is a universe out there where he wins, he is able to manipulate the multiverse itself to overlap that future onto his own current timeline.
Man, a fully composited Mazinger versus Getter has got to just be completely wild.
Yes and no, because
it's just Zero versus Emperor, isn't it? To which I think Zero just
so at
overpowers.
least yes, Zero has it shown like multiversal capabilities before, at least as far as like manipulating timelines, so it's possible that he could be that powerful output wise as well. The most powerful we have ever seen Getter Emperor get is to about universal. Potentially maybe he could get bigger, but the issue with that is that the reason he gets so big to the point where he could destroy the universe is because he's taking in Getter energy and like terraforming shit from that universe. If he becomes too big, then he might not have anything left to absorb. There might not be any more Getter energy in that universe. There might not be enough to terraform into himself. And there's also the thing of, it's very ambiguous whether or not Getter 1 actually transforms into Getter Emperor or not. Because on one hand, it's implied he is, but at the same time, it's so vague that it's not really clear.
So wait a minute. So is Getter Emperor at his biggest, like, actually universe-sized?
No, I think at its biggest,
I've only seen him at his biggest, like, galaxy-sized, at most.
Yeah, at his biggest, he's like the size that he can like eclipse, like massively eclipse stars. At his biggest, like story-wise, he will become as big as the universe once he has absorbed it.
So a theoretically biggest Getter is about the size, maybe a bit smaller than Super Toppa Tengen Gurren Lagann, whatever it's called.
Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is like fucking anywhere from like 14 to 100 times as big as the universe, depending on what you believe. Because I'm pretty sure it's outright stated that when he becomes Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and like there's the first way to measure it is by taking Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann from the regular show itself, and taking into account the fact that the shades that you see on the big blue version, that is the chest plate from the other version. Like, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is as big as Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann's head, so you can measure it like that. Or, depending on your interpretation, that little spiral at his feet when he gets that big could be seen as, like, the observable universe as we know it. At which point he would be, like, probably around 20 times the size of the universe.
It's interesting, because, like, I know of bigger mechs, but I didn't think Getter Emperor would even be in the question for that.
Now, that's just how big Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann himself is.
The drill's
his
bigger.
Giga Drill
absurd.
breaker is hundreds of times bigger than he is. It is absurdly large.
Like, I know of mechs bigger than the guy himself. I don't know of anything bigger than the drill that isn't some cosmic entity. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I don't want to say what the things bigger than it are, just to, like, leave the comments, like, annoyed about that. The fact that I've just made the claim, he's not the biggest mech I know. I'm not gonna explain.
I think theoretically a mech like Demon Bane might be able to get that like big, but it I think depends, and I also don't know if he's ever like implied to be that powerful that he could grow that big.
I just let everyone know that Thought Robot Superman is bigger. Like, much bigger.
Hadn't considered that.
That was not the one I was thinking of. That one just came to mind. I was like, wait, he exists in the Monitor Sphere. So, like, he is not a cosmic entity because he's still a robot, but he just dwarfs Gurren Lagann. Because, like...
Classic Getter Robo also becomes a bit of an issue, not only from the fact that it's vague whether or not Getter Emperor is actually, like, Getter Robo, but also the fact that every Getter machine from original Getter Robo to Shin Getter Robo, and then Devolution, if you want to count it as part of that, are strictly different mechs within the same continuity. And like, there even comes a point within Getter Robo Armageddon, if you're fully compositing using that as well, that they are mass-producing Getter ones.
So, anyway, basically, to get back on the topic of, like, who we think would win these crossovers, with Getter Mazinger, who knows? Like,
Probably... So, the thing there, I think, would come down to the fact that Mazinger's weapons are better equipped to deal with the mechanical threats, because that's usually who he fights, is robots. Yeah. And this is also Great Mazinger specifically, I believe. Great Mazinger, so... He is supposed to be a strict upgrade from Mazinger Z, but they are usually shown as equals, which is kind of weird, at least from everything I've seen. But Getter Rays and how they work, at least as far as what I can remember and understand, it has been a while, is they forcefully evolve something to the point that it dies because it can no longer evolve further. You can't really evolve a machine like that because it is really only meant to affect giant monsters and organic beings. Like, Getter Robo has other weapons than the Getter Beam. Like, he has his tomahawks, his drill, his missiles and stuff, but if we're just going, like, raw, like, weapons, then Mazinger has, I'm pretty sure, like, a 30,000 degrees Celsius, like, heat beam. He has, like, lasers. He has, like, negative however many fucking 1,000 degrees, like, freeze rays. He has, like, enormous rocket punches. And that's all stuff that carries over into Great Mazinger, plus I think it's called Thunderbreaker, where he's able to, like, channel lightning into his sword and throw it through shit. Like, he's got, like, a much better arsenal of weapons.
Can you guys tell that Don is very passionate about Mazinger and Getter?
Yes.
And then the next one, I do not know anything about Grandizer, beyond, like, I think I know what it looks like, so I couldn't say how it compares.
Really either. Like, I know the basic, like, premise of Grandizer, but I couldn't tell you, like, I know his basic armaments, like, he's got some fucking frisbees, he's got a big, like, two-sided dowel, he's got, I guess it's more accurate to call it, like, a two-sided double scythe than a dowel.
Yeah, he also looks a lot like Mazinger.
Yes, he's set in the same continuity canonically, I believe, even within Grandizer stories. Essentially, he's piloted by a dude named Duke Fleet, and he's like, "Hey, my fucking planet is like exploding or some shit, so I gotta protect it." And then, like, that's what the story's about, is him protecting his planet or some shit.
The next one is The Dragon Lives Again. I'm pretty sure the strongest character who shows up in that is Popeye, and it's like not even close. I don't think James Bond or fucking Count Dracula or the Godfather are gonna be fighting Popeye and coming out on top there. just saying.
Yeah.
I accidentally had that written as 1997. That was 1977. Godzilla vs. Mothra, it goes the same way as the last time they crossed over. I don't think I've seen fully any of the Dollman or Demonic Toys films, so I couldn't say. Classic Ultraman versus Kamen Rider Ichigo.
So I can answer this one. Especially having recently watched, and this is a shout out to another smaller channel. I think he's probably around this size, or like, he might be a little bigger. So like, he's within this same like realm of viewer base. His name is the Toku Professor. He makes short videos going over like 3-minute summaries of franchises to like help get people introduced to them. He goes over kaiju and kaijin bios of like different tokusatsu heroes and monsters. And it's all very educational. It's very cool. He has a very clear passion for the stuff. And he has an eBay store where you can buy figures of different tokusatsu stuff, and he's been trying to preserve and help people get more acquainted with the toy side of things, which I bought a Bengular one because I was watching Ultraman. In the Ultraman Kamen Rider crossover, they do fight for a little bit. They don't fight for too awful long, but they stalemate each other, and then they have to team up. And for some fucking reason, this is never established in the Kamen Rider show. Kamen Rider grows to giant size with Ultraman to fight the kaiju. That is not an ability he has otherwise.
This is where like people are questioning where's Giant Kamen Rider from. It's from Kamen Rider versus Ultraman, which is more of like a doco for most of it.
Essentially, Ultraman is fighting this big monster. So it's like a new Kamen Rider villain and a new Ultraman villain show up, and they're causing havoc. And then they fuse into a bigger villain, I think by accident too. And
that guy should fight Skeletor Mumra.
Ultraman's getting his ass kicked, and so Kamen Rider starts riding back on his motorcycle. It's like, oh, what is he gonna do? He's so small. And then he fucking grows giant and helps him. But if we're taking canonical strength, Kamen Rider Ichigo, like, even though originally narratively it was implied he did not survive, he does survive this enormous like explosion that eclipses and fucking destroys an island. Ultraman, towards the end of his original show, this is without getting into Ultraman or Kamen Rider scaling to other Ultramen or Kamen Riders, because they don't really need it. Kamen Rider Ichigo never gets that much more powerful, and Ultraman doesn't really need to get any more powerful. Towards the end of the original Ultraman show, he flies back off into space after separating from Shin Hayata and just creates a constellation.
Yeah, and what's funny is I think the only way to get... Because, like, with... Like, Ichigo would probably scale to, like, General Heisei Riders at best, and they are also island level from, like, a kit Kabuto does. So he would not actually scale any higher than where he does through just his own show, unless you scale him to Kamen Rider Black. But here's the problem. If you stretch to scale him to Kamen Rider Black, that would put him on equal footing in strength only to Ultraman when you don't scale Ultraman to other Ultramen. Ultraman would still be faster and thus still win. But if you're then fair back to Ultraman and scale him to other Ultramen, he could destroy the universe. So...
Now, see, so let's be very generous to Ichigo. Because, honestly, it's inconsistent, the levels of power in, like, both early and late Heisei Riders. And it's inconsistent with Showa Riders, too, as far as scaling to each other and where they all, like, scale amongst themselves. But let's be generous and scale him to Black at his most powerful, where he's scaling to a dude that can also manipulate and move around stars to about the same extent that Ultraman could.
It was solar system level, I think, when calced.
Yeah. And then if we want to put, like, Ultraman at, like, maybe around large star, maybe solar system, depending on how many stars are in the constellation, Ultraman is still massively faster than anything Ichigo could scale to.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to get, like, Heisei and Showa Riders to, like, massively faster than light without, like, getting into Black and saying maybe he scales to the speed which he's moving these stars, which, like,
there is only a handful of characters who are that fast.
Like, yeah, like, I would not say that Black scales to that in terms of speed, because he never has to deal with it hitting him in speed. But generally, and this is semi-consistent within both Showa Riders and early Heisei, they are able to dodge to lasers, which is decently fast, can get you anywhere from relativistic to about light speed for FTL, depending on how, like, quickly you react to it. It is a consistent thing within Showa Ultraman series that they are hitting thousands to millions to quadrillions of times faster than light by flying to the Land of Light.
To the Land of Light and back within, like, days, weeks, months at most, and, like, that's ridiculous. It's faster than the best feats in Kamen Rider. Like, to my knowledge, at best, maybe you can scale Ichigo to X-Aid. I wouldn't do it, from what I've seen, which admittedly is not everything. You wouldn't scale them. But that would make him, like, what, 30 times the speed of light? And, like, Ultraman on his own can just fly to the Land of Light and back within, like, a couple days, which is consistently 3,000 to 300,000 to 3 million light years away. I say consistently. It's wishy-washy what are those numbers, but even at its smallest, only 3,000 light years, that's fast. Because you could not scale Ichigo to, like, Zio, who's got, like, the million of times the speed of light feet, or the infinite speed stuff. No. Ichigo's gotta die against Ultraman, and end of story.
Let's even assume that it's just taking, like, the trip there. then like, and we're assuming like distance and like light and like relative shit. Ichigo might scale to people who can dodge light moving like a couple meters, depending on how far away it's fired from him. Ultraman, within this span of time, is able to travel 3,000 times what light would reach in a year of travel, let alone like half a second.
Yeah. Ultraman is just faster. He's much stronger, no matter what you do, unless you really go. Like, the only way
Like
to
you
get
have
him
to be
even-
super generous to Ichigo to get him anywhere near Ultraman's
and then
level
just,
of power.
Like, not
and
generous
you
to
just
Ultraman at all.
You can't be generous enough to get him near his speed, unless you're getting into Decade, where you potentially could argue either immeasurable or infinite. I forget which by
here's the problem.
hyperclock up being fast
Here's
enough
the
to go
problem.
backwards in
The
time.
whole point of Kabuto is that he is the fast one, and what makes like Decade and Zio and Omar Zio so impressive is that they're the ones that can actually keep up with the guy. So with Kabuto being
in Decade's case, he can just become the guy, and in Zio's case, he can summon him.
He can blitz Decade. So, yeah. I guess before we go to the next one, which is Citizen Toxie, which I'm just going to skip over because I forget who it was who crossed over in that one. When I get my model kit of Mazin Kaiser, should I get the regular one or Mazin Kaiser SKL? Because they are different looking.
So first of all, it is pronounced Mazin Kaiser Skull.
Fuck off.
But second of all, Mazin Kaiser Skull, like, I fucking love Mazin Kaiser. He's one of my favorite mecha designs. However, Mazin Kaiser Skull's really fucking sick looking and comes with so many, like, more things. Because he's got this enormous fucking, like, jagged shark tooth sword with a handle that can extend it out into, like, a sword spear. He's got his cool-ass cape. He's got a horse that in Super Robot Wars can turn into a motorcycle. He's got dual guns that like function as hatchets as well. Like, he's just got so many fucking cool things.
I can show like images comparing the two. I love how the Motoroid Mazin Kaiser normal looks, but like the one with the bat wings and the absurd sword is so much cooler to me.
Like, if the design is appealing to you more, and honestly, like, if you ever have the time, I don't think it's super long, and you want to do it just for the sake of, like, research, if for ever, like, whatever reason it ever comes up, I would definitely give the Mazin Kaiser Skull anime a look over, because as I recall from what I watched of it, it wasn't too bad.
I'm definitely interested. I just don't have a lot of time to watch things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have started this series already. Anyway, so after Citizen Toxie, Killer Barbies versus Dracula. I don't even know what to say on that one. Freddy should very handily beat Jason if we ignore what actually happens in the film and the comic. Freddy, out of the dream world, Jason wins, but that's a very hard situation for someone to put Freddy in. In the dream world, he just
There's also
kills him.
Like, everybody brings up, oh, if you can get Freddy into the real world, you can kill him. They've done that, like, a couple times in the movies, and it never keeps him dead that long.
No. I say, you could probably argue it'd still be a Jason win, because Freddy would not continue the fight after that. But, like, you have to assume that Jason will just so happen to be grabbing Freddy while waking up. Which, given he will not know to do that, is a very hard situation to accept as, yeah, that's possible.
Jason's pretty clever when it comes to kills, but as far as, like, figuring out what the fuck would be happening in the dream world, Jason's not that smart. He's not that much of, like, a thinker.
Yeah. After that, we have AVP. I'm pretty sure the Predator just has, Yautja just generally have better feats than Xenomorphs overall.
Yeah, they have better feats, and I'd say they definitely have the kind of weaponry, like the general issue as far as trying to kill Xenomorphs with some of the weapons that humanity has, is that normal bullets or blades or whatever you're using that isn't a flamethrower is going to cause a Xenomorph to bleed, and they bleed incredibly corrosive acid, which is super dangerous, especially because they can flick it at you. And there's also, like, Xenomorphs being able to be, like, super stealthy, with Predators having, like, goggles that, like, specifically help them hunt out things that are, like, able to sneak around, and with them having stuff like plasma casters to be able to attack at a distance and probably instantly cauterize whatever wound it would be leaving. I think they just have the equipment to be able to deal with one just fine.
And, like, if you take, like, a Spearmaster Yautja and give it, like, Phoenix armor, there's literally nothing a Xenomorph can do. There's nothing a Xenomorph can do against Phoenix armor. That shit's overpowered.
Yeah.
And if they gave him that in the death battle, he would have absolutely cleared Boba Fett. I do not think I've seen Boa or Python's films, so I don't know who would win that.
Generally speaking, a python gets bigger, right?
No. These are actual films about a giant boa and a giant python. Like they're both like kaiju sized.
Giant. Then it's probably the one that's more giant is probably the
Yeah.
snake that's more giant on average.
I think they're like the same size. They're both like kaiju.
Oh fuck.
Again, Puppet Master Demonic Toys not super well versed. Dracula is not going to beat Batman. He just
No.
it's funny that he gets overpowered. Bonnie and Clyde are probably going to do about as well against Dracula as Billy the Kid, to be honest.
Probably. What's the deal with fucking like cowboy outlaws, like fucking Wild West outlaws fighting Dracula?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Calamity Jane versus Dracula.
Yeah, waiting for Jesse James versus Dracula.
I think Dino Croc has better feats than Super Gator, but I'd need to rewatch those films.
What the fuck either of those things are?
Dino Croc is like a Baryonyx or a Suchomimus, I forget which one, that is not a crocodile at all. It's just a fucking crocodilian-esque dinosaur who was hybridized with a few things. One of them might have been crocodile, and brought back. And I do not remember Super Gator very well. I only remember Dino Croc because it's really dumb. I mean, so Super Gator, I guess. I think Ben 10 should beat Generator Rex. I just think that, like, Alien X should just win.
To be had here, and I'll try to keep it as concise as I can. The debate on Generator Rex's side is that base to base he should probably blitz Ben, and then he might be able to hack the Omnitrix, as he I think it was implied to be able to do something like that. And technically, as much as the Omnitrix has been upgraded from the prototype to the official that we see in Omniverse, it still messes up a lot, and it was never shown to have an explicitly boosted resistance to hacking. So he might be able to hack it and bypass like its self-defense systems. And then you could also just make the argument that he's as powerful as Alien X in his most powerful form. However, the arguments for Ben, I would say, is that Rex probably would not try to like blitz and hacks. Like in all reality, like I don't think he would like just try to dismantle it immediately, because I don't think he would know what it could do. I don't think he would suspect it was a weapon. And then if Ben's like cycling through all these aliens, and say he gets to Alien X, it is easier to argue Alien X to multiversal to a myriad of different ranges, anywhere from like 5D to like infinite multiversal, like there's a bunch of different ways you could argue Alien X. Alien X also isn't even Ben's only like universal to multiversal like alien, and there's a chance he could go into feedback and just steal the energy from Rex's like most powerful weapons. I think there's also an argument for Rex's most powerful form not being standard, but I wouldn't know enough about it because I haven't seen Generator Rex all the way through.
Give it to him to be fair. He still probably loses, but give it to him to be fair.
Yeah, give it to him to be fair. Then I think if we are allowing them both to reach their most powerful forms, Alien X is too powerful for Rex to be able to do anything against. And then if we are using them base to base, I think it is a fair argument to make that Rex could blitz and disable the Omnitrix, but at the same time, I think it's just as fair an argument to make that the self-defense mechanism would kick in and it would either push Rex back or turn Ben into something that would be like able to get around it, like Ghost Freak being able to phase through him, or like something being able to teleport or just run away.
Yeah. Kamen Rider X Super Sentai Superhero Tyson, I believe, is the Decade versus Marvelous one. Decade wins.
Yes. Yeah, Decade wins because you can argue Marvelous into massively, massively faster than light and multiversal, but you can easily argue Decade, I'm pretty sure, into infinite multiversal and infinite speed.
Yeah, he's just too strong, too fast. Inazuma 11 Go versus Dumbledore Senior W, I wouldn't know, honestly. Don't give a shit about Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, but I am gonna one up Biff by watching more than like 5 minutes of it. I don't know how Space Sheriff holds up to Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, or which characters in particular are compared in this.
I've seen some of this one before, and I have also seen recaps of it. I forget which specific Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. I think the Go Busters are in this one. It's really weird because there are a specific set of like Metal Hero, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider characters that are supposed to be the focal points of the film. But then, like, seemingly at random, they will just fucking toss in other, like, Rangers from other teams, other Kamen Riders that don't have anything to do with anything. And, like, they kind of barely, like, focus on the Space Sheriff side of things. Like, everything that I have heard, it is just not a very good movie, and it's, like, them just tossing shit at the wall to be like, oh, look at this character, look at them, they're here.
Yeah. I do not know who wins Lupin the Third versus Conan, but I want to hope it's just Lupin has a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Lupin is a competent fighter and adult. He has killed a lot of people. Like, there's no way Lupin wouldn't fucking murder him.
I know that the one person who'd be interested in us talking about this is not watching this video right now, so we can say whatever we want. Conan is gonna get shot in the face and die. He did kick that soccer ball once though. Bigfoot versus DB Cooper is like the funniest thing on this list, other than Santa Claus versus Cupid. So DB Cooper is a guy with a bomb that he can't use without killing himself, who jumped out of a plane. Bigfoot is a Gigantopithecus that can lift a small tree. I wonder who's gonna win that one in a direct fight.
When I have this massively powerful bomb, but I'll die if I use it, and then a giant ape man just comes and crushes my skull.
Yeah. You are the. Oh wait, you're Bigfoot. You're not DB Cooper.
Yeah.
Lake Placid versus Anaconda. I've watched all the films. I've never considered scaling them. I think Lake Placid.
So is this just a big snake versus a fucking body of water?
No, Lake Placid's about a big ass crocodile.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if it was a crocodile or an alligator. Frankenstein versus the Mummy. Frankenstein scales over where the Mummy does in his original film. Cyborg, is it 009 or is it Cyborg 09?
It is Cyborg 009.
Okay, versus Devilman. I think Devilman wins.
So, this continuity has a completely new version of 009 and Devilman. So, it is specifically those versions within that movie.
Well, never mind then.
But if we are just taking them at their base, and if we're also not considering scaling them to each other through the manga version of this crossover, then I believe at his peak you can get Joe. I'll just call him Joe because it's less of a mouthful. I believe at his peak you can get Joe at 70 million times faster than light, which is massively faster than anything Devilman has shown himself to do otherwise.
I love that feat. The fucking bomb that he just goes so fast that there's like a bomb that takes forever to go off or something like that. And he's
around so quickly that I believe it is a gas-based explosion. I think it was igniting like a fucking I don't remember what specific gas it was. It's a gas-based explosion. As it's going off, Joe is able to, I think, live out an entire month in the span of this bomb, reaching its fullest fireball explosion, the force coming out of it. And within that time, the bomb is pretty much stopped. So, yeah, it can be put at a range, but I think at its highest, it gets 70 million times faster than light, which is way faster than anything Devilman has done, I think. I can read back through all the Devilman manga I have read, and there are also a couple that I have not read. I have not read, Devilman Saga. Maybe he gets, a stupid fast speed feat in there, and I haven't read all of Violence Jack either. But I don't think he ever gets that fast. However,
in case you're wondering, Violence Jack is canon, yes.
Yes. Violence Jack is a reincarnation of Akira Fudo.
Yeah. They just revealed that at the
Devilman has not only gotten so fucking, furiously pissed at humanity that his passive, the passive heat emanating from his body was going to melt and subsequently explode the planet. He is also just able to destroy the planet by his own merit otherwise. He is stated to be, on several occasions, at least Amon's full extent of power, which Akira Fudo, mixed with the power, should be stronger than Amon, I'm pretty sure. But he should be equal to or comparable to Devilman's version of God, who did create the universe. it has been stated a couple times that if he and Satan teamed up, they would pose a threat to God, and then it has been stated a couple times that Amon is just the only direct, like, comparable / equal, like, being in the universe to God, which would put him at Universal, which, claim blasphemy, sacrilege if you'd like. Go Nagai wrote it, not me. There's also the fact that Devilman has revived himself, everything from having half his body vaporized, being turned into a puddle. He's also manipulated reality with just fucking brute force. Like, he has punched... Like, the way it is portrayed is the colors of the manga panel inverting. He punched so hard that, and this is how they phrase it, he inverted reality.
Wow.
Whatever that means. He has also just physically torn open, like, holes in reality to create a portal to hell. And he can do shit like time travel. He can... he has reliant immortality. I think it has been stated before that as long as there is wickedness and evil in the hearts of men, Amon will always return to life.
So yeah, Devilman wins.
Yeah, Devilman wins. Like, Joe blitzes the ever-loving fuck out of him, but that is the only advantage he holds. He can't kill Devilman.
Joe spends like a month punching Devilman until Devilman's anger makes him just so hot that Devilman fucking vaporizes him by being near him.
Yeah, pretty much. That or Devilman's just like, fuck this, and he nukes the planet that they're on, and then what is Joe gonna do?
Joe just watches in slow motion, basically, as Devilman is like floating up. It's like, what's he doing? I can't even reach him anymore. What's fucking going on? And then like 3 months later, he realizes, oh, okay, the world's gonna blow up, and he just dies.
Yeah, it's like there's nowhere left to run. I might as well turn off my super speed.
Just accepts it. Sadako versus Kayako. I don't know where they would get with either book or
I have no idea.
movie. Space Squad Garvin versus Deca Ranger. I don't know which like power tier Deca Ranger's in, but I don't know.
No, I'm not sure.
Same with Q Ranger versus Space Squad. Batman versus Ninja Turtles, you really couldn't make a statement on because it's just those incarnations of Batman and the Turtles.
Yeah, if you're taking like the main universe and then averaging out like the Turtles across their general like animated incarnations, I think you could argue that just through like the heights that they scale to, plus the fact that there's 4 of them, that the Turtles could probably gang up and beat the shit out of Batman. But
and then Godzilla versus Kong, even in the film, Godzilla fucking beats his ass. So yeah, I'm gonna happily say that Godzilla has always beaten Kong, and he will continue to beat Kong. And there's really nothing Kong can do about that, because he's the strongest version of Kong that's not from a mobile game or something, is the one that scales to like a mid-tier version of Godzilla, so.
Yeah, it's funny because like, within even like the MonsterVerse as it is right now, Godzilla, I'm pretty sure at his highest power should scale to King Ghidorah creating that big-ass tropical storm. Meanwhile, King Kong scales to like a big lizard.
Yeah.
Which, like, as power, like, the only, like, iota of power you could glean from that is just, it's pretty big.
Yeah. So that was the list. If anyone's wondering what will be covered if I do this series of, like, reviewing things, which I would love to. I would really love to. I got a lot of plans for, like, future videos that aren't strictly Death Battle related. I do want to do, like, obviously more Death Battle videos. I got to do more, finish off the Death Battle seasons ranked by how unfair they are, and, like... I want to do a video talking about the whole Marvel DC thing, because I feel like it needs some addressing. But right now...
And I'm sure in the time that it would take us to get to actually recording this crossover film one, either something will come out or we will find something, because in the history of cinema, there are like hundreds of thousands of movies. There's no way there aren't some we haven't found.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a matter of fact, if you've watched this far into the video and there are some crossover movies that we didn't mention, put them in the comments.
Yeah, tell us. I will probably not do a follow-on from this doing like TV specials, because there is way too many to count or stuff like that. I might consider it. Also, if you're gonna put in the comments, the Grinches, the Cat in the Hat, I have considered it. I have considered putting it in there as well. If anyone's gonna bring that up.
If you've made it this
yeah,
far
and it's
video,
also like, be
to
sure to do your research when you're putting it into the comments to see if it is a TV special. Because if it is a TV special and it's pretty popular, there's probably a good chance we know about it, but it doesn't count by the criteria that we're making this list.
I've included some OVAs.
No one's gonna
and
hear
TV specials. Some are in there. Like I think the Ben 10 Generator X one is a TV special. But it's like
Yes.
it's framed as not just another episode. Like the Jetsons Family Guy crossover and the Homer Simpson versus Peter Griffin one, like I just Simpsons vs Family Guy, I think are both just episodes, and as opposed to
Yes.
full-fledged specials. I'm not doing any of the WWE crossovers. I'm not doing them, as much as I would love to, because a lot of them kind of amount to just here's a franchise sucking off Vinnie Mac. And I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. Brought up WWE and Ty hasn't said anything about it. But
I tried talking and guess what? Someone talked over me. Who would have fucking guessed?
But nah, I don't want to do.
Fuck you!
I don't want to do the WWE crossovers, honestly, with anything.
You should do them, Ty. You should do them yourself. We'd look at all the WWE crossovers and rank them.
Most of them are shit. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yep. There
basically
you go,
all
ladies and gentlemen. That's the official
basically all of them are
titanium
shit.
1208 seal of shit.
Like 90%.
There is a
pure
dark part of me that
ass.
that wants to put AVGN versus Nostalgia Critic on this, but I'm not gonna. But
No.
I kind of wanna, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
No.
I guess if there are enough TV specials that interest me, I could do a follow-on, but it would be separate. It would be separate. I guess
I
go
think
ahead.
the ones that interest me most is comic crossovers / manga crossovers, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of those that people might not know about, and they're pretty interesting.
Yeah, the problem with them is just I don't want to fucking edit that. It's just that here's page this, page that. That just sounds unfun to edit.
You should get people to do silly voices over them then.
No, it's that makes the editing harder.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go through the editing for a video not many people are going to watch. I'm just amazed that the latest part of the Unsolved Mysteries and Weird Things iceberg has done so well. That's not happened
I
before.
watched it.
Thank you for the support.
I've watched all the
Yeah.
parts.
I
'cause
think I
like
watched the
creepy
whole thing.
shit.
If I haven't, I'll go back and finish it, but I'm pretty sure I did.
It's got like 13,000 views, and I was sitting there going, wait, when did that happen?
That's like
never
most
get
of your
tired of this
subscriber
picture.
base.
That's most of them, yeah. That's like at least half, nearly half. Like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
When did that happen? I expected Vader Roboto to do well, because unlike the death battles before it, Vader Roboto is really popular, and a lot of people wanted to see opinions on it. Didn't expect Unsolved Mysteries to do well. I kind of wish Link vs. Link could do well too, but who knows. I have plans to do more of the iceberg, obviously. I got this series of like film things. I got a few one-off videos. I got a lot of videos I need to do. Who knows what I'll do first? What I'll have time to do? I got fucking not death battles to do as well. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to work on.
When are you going to release your review series reviewing all of Biffweed's reviews of Death Battle?
When Biffweed comes to Australia.
So he can sit there and do it with you. Nem and Biff review Nem and Biff's reviews of Death Battle.
Nem reviews Biff's reviews of Death Battle while Biff sits there quietly.
And then Biff reviews Nem's reviews of Death Battle while Nem sits there quietly.
Yeah, you're allowed to hold up like a marker and like a draw board. That's it.
Have to take the punishment.
The funniest thing is, I imagine you two like sitting there like with the camera on, Biff in his Heisenbiff disguise, and fucking you in your fucking pumpkin disguise. It's like neither of you have your actual faces revealed, so there is literally no point to having the camera on, but it's just there for comedic effect.
I'm a Marvel, and I'm a
Or as a
DC.
matter of fact, what would make it funnier is if you were wearing the Heisenbiff disguise and if Biff was wearing yours.
The pumpkin, yes.
So if you just have like each other's disguises on, so there was just no way to discern which of you is which.
I think you
I
you'd
flipped
probably
it on him.
be able to tell from my hair, because I've people should know my hair by now is quite long.
It would also be, well, the Heisenbiff disguise includes like a hat, so possibly tuck it up into there. But also, I think it'd be funny if you fucking ADR'd each other's voices over just to like further the confusion.
Jesus Christ.
Just ADR.
Also,
yeah.
I think you should switch blood types. Also think you should swap underwear.
We should swap.
I also think you should switch your eyeballs. I think you should swap spit. That'd be really funny.
Biff is not gonna
Let's not
like
get
that
crazy.
part of the video. He's gonna come in and like, oh, I was laughing at this part of the video until Ty had to say that. That's what Biff's gonna say.
Well, guess
He's gonna,
what?
no, the exact face he's gonna make is the one that Ty sent in voice chat.
Gizmo.
They're in the
I'm not
DM.
even gonna show it. I'm just gonna let people imagine what he
Come on.
said because I think it's
I
funny.
love that.
It's amazing,
love
but
that.
how
He's going to
funny-
make specifically that face.
How
I'll
funny?
send it to.
how
Let
funny-
me send it to Biff
How
right now.
funny?
Here.
Don't
I'm gonna
explain
send
it.
it to Biff
He'll
right
understand in like
now.
a day's time when this video drops.
Also,
did I-
if anyone's getting annoyed at a little, I spend a little too long talking about the matchups here that I have any investment in. This is my recompense. This is my payback for fucking being ousted to the pits of hell for like 10 minutes of this recording.
Also, when else is he gonna get
10
this?
minutes.
It's not
I've been
like
sitting here in complete abject silence for like an hour.
that was out of
Yeah,
courtey,
so that
not
means
out of accident.
next time you're on a
That's
video,
'cause
you
I'm
get
a
to
nice
sit there and just
Wait a
talk
minute,
for an hour about
no.
whatever.
He just talked like for an hour while you were like in the shadow realm, so it's only fair. Next it should just be me being silent. But that's never. I mean, I already have the problem if for some reason,
reacting while you sit there in the
for
background.
some reason my mic likes to record me really quietly a lot of the time, no matter what I do. Even when I check before recording that the audio levels are balanced, I will sit and record, and then like it will just decide. Actually, Nem, what if you were just really silent? And I don't get a fucking say in it. And then like after 2 hours of recording, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really silent for some reason. I fucking checked earlier and it was fine. What's happening now? It just decided to fuck me in the ass.
It would be really funny if instead we were all just recording through like Audacity or whatever, and just sent in our own recordings and had to layer them over each other so we could just like adjust the volume of each individually.
That would take so long. I'd be willing.
It would take.
I would be
It
willing
would
to
take
do it.
so long.
I would be willing to do it if I didn't have to worry about having to send in a manual review for everything. If I didn't have to worry about the manual review in like the 5-7 days that tends to take, I would be willing to do that. But that's the problem. By the time I do that, the next episode of Death Battle would be like out by that point, and like no one's gonna watch it. Did I tell you guys about how like ridiculous the Raven Phoenix prediction went, like in terms of that?
No.
Like I recorded with Shulk. I did the video. I put in all the scans. It was a great time. A lot of fun to do. I upload the video as expected. Monetization issue. I sent in a manual review, and then like 2 or 3 hours before it was scheduled to upload, they came back with, yeah, it's good to go. And it'd only been like 1 day. It'd been 1 day since I sent the review. That's never happened, where they got back to me in 1 day. Literally, like, as perfect timing as it could get. Ridiculous.
You found
fucking
the one
straight.
Raven fan.
Now, I will
YouTube
say,
The
team.
one Raven
I watched some of the Raven Phoenix prediction, and I'm glad that you mentioned their name here, because you like made the joke about them being someone else towards the beginning of the video, and then for at least a while into the video, you just don't actually introduce them.
Yeah, you even hear me like when I say, "Oh yeah, I haven't introduced you."
Like it was at that point where I'm just like, is he going to like clarify who the fuck this? I don't know who this is. I don't know who I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I felt bad. The reason is probably because we spent an hour talking about literally nothing before we recorded, so I just forgot that I hadn't introduced him.
Yeah,
because I felt like
I think also I checked like the description and like the comments and stuff, and I think when I checked there was nothing there indicating it either. So I'm like, who is this? Who am I watching?
Oh, did I forget to put that in? Oh shit.
Who is this? Who made it and why?
It was Black Shulk is what he goes by. I don't know if he has any socials. I should ask.
The guy
him.
from Xenoblade?
Yeah. The guy from Xenoblade. But
Perfect.
Like, if he was black, I guess. That's why he's Black Shulk. It was Shulk time in that prediction.
You know, I was about to ask if you've ever seen a blonde black guy before, but I'm like, I guess Dennis Rodman exists.
I mean, like, could dye his hair, like, you know. Anyone can have any hair color if they dye it.
Wait, what about?
I mean, there's also like
ginger.
just genetics. Like it's not genetically impossible.
It's not genetically impossible.
No, but I'm not asking if it can exist. I'm asking if you've seen it.
I mean,
I don't think I have. In
oh no, I
person,
have.
though.
I watch sports unlike everyone else in the versus community, and there is an AFL player who is a black guy with blonde hair. I forget his
Bitch,
name.
I literally
forget his name.
commentated sports. Don't give me that
Right,
shit.
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But then I would be a better commentator.
I played high school football. I know all the things.
I took sword fighting classes, so I think I have both of you beat sword fighting school.
Would you play fucking cricket?
Yeah, cricket. Actually, I don't know. I don't recall if I ever told this story. I got kicked out of the cricket team because I talked back against the captain or the coach for bullying one of the players. He was I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl, the player or the coach, but like they were having a go at one of the players, and I was like, maybe you shouldn't be a piece of shit and just bully a player for not knowing how to play the game and actually like teach them. And I got kicked out and banned from playing cricket. In the school,
that's way worse than me.
The rest of my school
That's way
life.
worse than me. I broke a kid's legs.
Yeah, well, that's different. That's like
got no punishment for it
Well,
because
fuck
it's
off,
football.
then.
You signed a waiver.
And like, here's the thing, they must have felt really stupid because I would join like inter-school sports for t-ball, and like I helped us dominate the entire year. Like we lost only a single game, and that's because the other side cheated. And then I went into softball, which is basically baseball but less cool. And we dominated the whole year there
girls.
too. Like, every sport that I played in a school, we dominated, and I was a big part of that. So, I imagine they must have felt pretty stupid when they kicked me out of cricket, when that's the sport I'm best at.
You ever play rugby?
No. Couldn't be bothered.
Damn.
I'm a big fat guy. I'd probably be good at ramming into people, but when it comes to, like, footwork...
Yeah, because rugby's like, you know,
I have really bad...
it's like American football.
I have pretty bad depth perception. So
I have only ever excelled in combat sports, like mixed martial arts and like swordplay and like spear and
I have done martial arts. But they didn't let that in inter-school sports. They let me do that in inter-school sports. I did. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done this, but when we were told to like pair up with another student and teach them something from a sport you're good at, he taught me how to kick a football through the goalposts in AFL. I taught him how to do a side kick. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Power.
Because
the most I've done, like
he was known to get into scraps, so I'm like worried that he might have done a side kick and like actually really injured someone. I'll never know.
So like,
but
you can ask anybody that was on like the trip that me and like the rest of the guys were for like Stitch versus Rocket and everything. You can ask literally anyone that was there. There was a couple of small pool cues on like this billiards table that we had, and I just went around the B&B just pacing back and forth, swinging it around, and fucking everyone was paranoid that I was going to smack somebody in the head with it. And I had to clarify, I am quite literally trained at wielding sticks in a way where I do not hit people, and the only person I ended up smacking in the head was myself.
Don is being played by Steve Blackman right now.
See, like, you describing yourself as, like, you could probably describe yourself
Don is now the lethal weapon.
in a really cringe way. You could, like, say, like, I'm a samurai, or I'm a knight, and that'd be really
No,
funny.
I'm not a samurai, but, like, one of the first things they will teach you in a sword fighting class is how not to hit people, like, because if you can't control your sword enough to, like, well, sword, it was foam and PVC, because obviously you can't let a bunch of students run around with actual steel swords. But, like, one of the first things they teach you is, hey, when you're swinging something, don't swing it so willy-nilly, because if you hit somebody else, you're going to hit yourself as well. You're going to hurt somebody. We're doing this for, like, some sort of physical discipline, so, like, learn some self-control, so I did.
Hold on, Ty, are you trained in any form of combat?
I have 2 years of karate training, and I have a 5-0 record in heavyweight boxing.
Okay, good. So all of us can kick someone's ass. That's good to know. We would be the squad.
I literally years ago we talked about a freaking community boxing match because YouTuber boxing was big at the time, like rap battle community boxing match. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would kick most people's ass except Garrett. That dude's fucking huge.
Actually, no. Maybe the three of us wouldn't kick any ass if Don's only skilled at not hitting people with sticks.
I'm not only skilled at hitting people with
carry his ass.
I learned.
Gotta pick up the slack for the guy who's just waving a stick around.
I just realized all you told us was how you're training how not to hit people with sticks except yourself, and I thought it was just really funny to take that at face value and go, yeah, I'm skilled, I'm trained in how to punch someone
the three
real
things
good.
that we were taught in that
so
class, it was called Chivalry Club. was we were taught how to wield one-handed swords and shields. We were taught how to wield a spear, and we were taught how to wield a greatsword.
Oh, okay. So
And
Hema.
then in mixed martial arts, I took both karate and Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
So you would have trained in Hema then, if it was one-handed sword and shield, and if it was called chivalry, it's probably European basis, so it's probably Hema. So okay. Good.
Yeah, sure. If you want to be a fucking nerd about it.
Well,
All I know is
your mother.
I'm TJ Combo.
I mean, what's funny is you could technically like call me a ninja, and I would cringe so much if you did, but you would not
So
technically be
he's
wrong.
a samurai. You're a ninja.
You would not be wrong, but I would punch you in the throat. I would just
Ninja.
cringe into like an alternate state of existence if you were like, that's Nemesis Bloodright. He's the fucking psychologist
He's
ninja.
Batman.
Oh fuck. I mean, I guess I analyze things.
You're
I'm
Batman.
knowledge in psychiatry
Batman.
and psychology,
Batman.
and I am
Batman.
technically. Oh my god, I'm Batman. I hate that. I'm little.
Yeah,
I'm little Batman.
You're Batman.
I hate this.
Don is a samurai.
If he's trained in European martial arts,
I'm
in
not a
swordplay,
samurai.
He would not be a samurai.
It's funny to call
I was
you
literally
a samurai, though.
the two tenets of this was learning the type of weapons technique that they would teach in armies in specifically parts of like England and Western Europe, and learning the code of chivalry that knights lived by. If anything, I am a knight without like the official like status of being knighted.
Ty, do you know what
That's less
Hema?
cool,
do you know what
but
Hema
alright.
means, Ty?
No, I'm not going to pretend like I do.
Historical European martial arts. Do you know where samurais famously were not? Europe.
Let me guess.
Mars.
That too.
That too.
But it's not called Hma.
I don't think they were on Pluto.
It's not called Hupma
Historical
either.
Martian. Can you fucking imagine MMA fucking Martian martial arts?
Historical martial
Yes.
arts where they use their 7 arms to fucking mollywop.
That's awesome. Wait, 7? Means he has an uneven amount. That poor fucker.
He's just got an arm on the back
He's
of
got
his
like
head.
4 on one side and 3 on
They
the
use
other.
their denser molecular like carbon-based structure so that they can fucking crush you.
Why
to
do you
death.
assume they have 2 sides to their body? What if they're just like a living, like a hexagon? They just have like
Considering what we've
one
been
arm on
hearing
each
about
side.
aliens recently, I don't know what the fuck is real.
I don't know what's going on with that. I also don't really give a shit because I feel like it's all just nonsense.
Unless I see an actual alien, I'm not gonna assume anything.
I mean, like I do believe aliens probably exist out there, but
And I would feel they would kick our asses.
If an
That's all
alien
I know.
exists somewhere out there in the universe, it probably isn't intelligent. It's probably like a fucking just a different version of a fish.
if it is intelligent too, I feel like who are we to say that
We're
they'll
fucked.
if they find us? Who's to say that they're like more advanced? Like obviously in space travel, sure. But what if they're like a civilization that focus just on like traveling and not really much on combat? So like they come
What if
down
they
with like
focused on religion?
they come down with like sticks and stones, and we're like, yeah, we invented rail guns and
we have
like
guns.
shotguns and tanks.
Can we?
So what are you gonna
religious
do?
aliens
We
with
go up
invade
to
us?
them and we're
This
like,
would be awesome.
this is a ghost pepper chip, and you feed it to them and they die instantly.
They just fucking
It just
implode
catches on
into like a
fire,
pebble.
engulfed in flames.
They're like, and they fucking implode on them.
Just melt.
They just
I
like
want the
take
religious
one
aliens to come
bite.
down
There's
with, like, their
there's
spears.
no reaction. They just like turn into dust on the spot. There's no. They don't
Like,
even
can you
respond.
fucking imagine like this weird fourth dimensional like polygon being comes up, and you give it a ghost pepper chip, it just like phases into it, like it like disassembles it, just, and then like it just like Final Fantasy VII just like turns red and disappears like.
It just like disassembles into like 4 3D versions of itself.
It makes like the fucking Lego Yoda death sound, the fucking.
I hope y'all noticed. I wanted to mention earlier, but as soon as I sent Biffwy that picture of Gizmo, he just went offline.
He just
Wait, now he's back.
He saw the
back.
mirror.
You killed him.
Yeah, I killed him with
I'm
Gizmo.
just
and now
gonna
he's
send
back.
him like
he hasn't said
I'm
anything.
gonna send him a gif of a knight, a ninja, and a boxer, and just see what he says about it.
This image of Gizmo looks like he was putting that fucking device from the Dark Crystal that like sucks your souls out of your eyeballs.
I thought it looked like he ate a ghost pepper chip.
Yeah, he took ghost pepper chip and he's.
I think he needs some water, man, or some milk.
If you feed them ghost pepper chips after midnight, then they become capsaicin gremlins. Like a bombardier beetle, they develop the chemical compounds to shoot capsaicin out of their bodies like pepper spray into their eyes.
Jesus Christ.
Biff actually responded to me.
Oh, you bitch. He doesn't like me, I knew it.
He heard what you said about swapping spit, and he was like, nah, I ain't responding to that guy. He's a weirdo.
Stop setting me up. I'm gonna swing if you keep pitching me ideas.
I just sent him that, and I just let him figure out what I was trying to say.
Night. That's not a boxer. That's
I know.
a kickboxer.
I know. I just thought it'd be funny to just send him something. I mean, it's not a ninja either, or even like honestly a knight. It's just a guy in armor, a guy in an outfit, and a guy who's in a ring.
Yeah, I will remind people, in case you didn't know this, or in case you forgot, knight is not a status of a warrior. Like, you don't train and then now you're a knight. You have to be knighted.
Yeah,
it is a social status.
Yeah. So, like, I'm pretty sure Sir Ian McCollum is not walking around in like in fucking plate armor with a long sword or anything.
Like, if anything, I am just a a foot soldier with like 3 years of training.
Is someone gonna like? Someone should now just someone,
but not me. You
someone
bitch.
should draw us as a knight, a ninja, and a boxer now, and just be like, it's the squad.
I imagine every time you say someone should draw blank, you just creak your head over to me.
No. I mean, not everyone draws. Not everyone draws what I say, you know.
I'm about to like message Biff. We'd be like, "You messaged him back, but not me, you bitch."
Actually, do that, but don't specify who he is. Oh, he just said now Ty is DMing me shit too. What are you up to, Don? You should message him something as well.
He's up to nothing.
He's gonna be like thinking like we're cooking some elaborate gag here, but it's like no, the gag is just in this moment. We thought it'd be funny. He's not gonna have any. He's not gonna have any context until like a day or two after.
He'll get it a few days from now.
He'll get it eventually. He'll get it.
Moment.
Don't say moment. Don't ruin it by saying moment to that.
Oh my god, it's him. He's in our DMs. It's Barlog.
Do I have another stupid picture?
I feel like it is a very not death battle idea to do Balrog versus the Balrog from Lord of the Rings, and like there's always been a part of me that has thought I should totally do that because that sounds really dumb. I'm not doing John versus Frank.
I told Sai about Frank, by the way.
He hated it, didn't he?
No, he loved it. He said Frank Predator is the funniest thing ever.
Well, I mean,
you can ask him.
I hate that.
He said Frank Predator's way funnier than John Yaucha, and I was like, yes.
It's the same joke. The only reason he says that is because some people took
Frank
John Yaucha
Predator
and
is
like
funny.
ruined it, and like that pisses me off that they went and ruined it.
You know what really ruined it? Whenever they tried naming the guy from like Jason and Myers, that really made me go,
What fucking Joe Victim?
Like
that was so fucking stupid.
When I made that joke, the joke was that it's not funny. That was the joke, was that it's not funny anymore. That was the point of me saying that. Why'd they go take that and be like, wow, that's a funny...
I'm just gonna keep sending Biff random shit now.
When you take a background unnamed character and instead of naming them like, this is fucking Ted Plumber, because it's just a plumber in the background, just name him Ted. It's more endearing to just give him a fucking fake made up name that is believable that they could have.
Pete Spider-Man.
What's funny is that I did eventually decide, you know, if people are gonna ruin John Yaucha, I'm gonna take the actually like genuinely like interesting concept of a character like that. I'm gonna make a character based on him, and now I kind of want to say that he just has an older brother named Frank, and he's not even named Frank something. He's just got an older brother named Frank, and Frank never shows up. He's just there, like he just exists and is just never addressed beyond. God, this is worse than
I like the idea that John Yaucha is not even his name, it's a nickname. If Frank is still going by like his own last name, it's like Frank Wellerman. And it's like, that's their last name. It's like, he's just like, dude, why do you go around calling yourself John Yaucha? That's like if fucking John Mulaney went around calling himself John Human.
Like Frank just shows up at the family gathering. He's like, why do you call yourself John Yaucha? It's pronounced Yaucha. And John's like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, Frank. You know that? You know,
bro,
you're a piece of shit, bro.
He's like, that's not like we have a last name. It's Wellerman. Like we have a last name.
What is?
Like why do you even call yourself by your first and last name? You're not famous. Just call yourself John.
Yeah, why do you go around like advertising your existence to people? Do you think that's gonna like make them endeared to you? Like, they're just gonna think
You
you're
think
an
anyone's gonna
asshole.
fucking care about you? You
It
lame old
doesn't
piece
make
of
you
shit.
endearing. It just gives you a case of main character syndrome. It makes people find you annoying.
And John's like, yeah,
By the way,
yeah, yeah.
that Yokozuna picture, I sent that to Biff as well.
I like the idea that these two are just siblings and they just don't get along, and it's not for any like deep reason. It's just that they're just kind of assholes. They're both just mutual assholes to everyone, including each other.
Oh yeah, I found the best picture. Look at him smirk at the camera like a piece of shit.
Wife.
I need your help, wife.
Borat versus Shao Kahn now sounds funny.
I hate he just looks at the fucking camera.
That guy's seen some shit. No one's gonna see what we're talking about. We've gone so far off topic. We still have like barely said anything about the death battle beyond. Yeah, it was good.
Is there more that needs to be said? It was awesome.
I will say more when I do my review. All right.
Look at that hat.
That reminds me of like the promo image they got of like Kung Lao from Mortal 1 Combat, where it looks like he's not wearing the hat. The hat is like floating on top of him.
I just love Undertaker with a 10-gallon hat. Makes no fucking
that's
sense.
the Overtaker.
I am the Overtaker.
He goes onto like highways and just like is really annoying to drive around.
He's 0-30 at WrestleMania. Don't know why people are making a big deal out of it.
He's 0-60 at overtaking people on the highway.
He's held a lot of world titles though.
The Overtaker is the kind of guy who goes into like the slow lane and drives at like the highest speed his car can go. That's him.
Shout out to the bit that I Heart Justice does in the newest Lythero raid boss video, where Gohan is exclusively speaking menacingly in Spanish, but saying shit like, "Man, we're gonna need more plates if we're gonna do the carne asada thing tonight. We don't have enough plates."
I like how I've not responded to Biff asking what's going on. Don, did you send him anything?
Yeah, I said good morning.
I should send him Buff Beerus. 1 second.
Just like that image of Beerus, Vegeta, and Goku, or like the one you drew.
The one I drew, or should it be the
either
where he's
is
got
really funny. Both of them
I
are
think the
really
Broly
funny.
body's more funny.
Okay, well, we've been recording for a little over 3 hours at this point.
It's only 2 hours and 40 of actual recording.
Well, okay, so we've been recording for about 2 hours and 40 minutes at this point.
Is that supposed to mean something?
I would just say, like, you know, we've gotten to the point. Do we want to give our closing thoughts on the episode the next time and just say, like, our last bit so we can go ahead and wrap up?
So, I did like Raven vs. Phoenix. I will say my better thoughts on it when I watch it by myself and, like, have a more clear, like, overview of what happened without talking over it and people talking over it and just riffing. But I liked it. I thought it looked really nice. The Raven win was expected by only me, apparently. And very excitable. I'm okay with Guts Dimitri as a matchup. I have reached acceptance in that it exists now as a Death Battle episode. And I will accept Claire not getting on, because unlike some people, I am willing to accept that I do not need Death Battle to use a character to validate how much I like them. So I'm okay with Claire not getting on. I hope the episode's good. I expect it to be done in sprites, and I expect it to have like a good atmosphere, a pretty like atmospheric track as well, and I imagine it's gonna be a pretty good episode. Yeah, that's all I have to say. What about you guys?
I liked the episode well enough. I found the analysis more interesting, honestly, than I thought it would, just like going in like what I knew of these characters, just because generally with Marvel and DC characters there is such a long history behind them that if I don't have a personal history with them, then it's going to be a little harder for me to really follow everything that's going on, because, you know, like comics have this like recurring issue where if you haven't been reading comics for a while, you're not going to know what the fuck is happening. But thankfully, this wasn't one of those where it's like, well, you need to know this, this, and this to understand what any of this means. It was just like, here's a big thing, here's how big it is. And so it was concise enough that I enjoyed it. I liked the animation a lot. I thought the outcome made sense. It seems like they covered all their bases pretty well. I didn't mind the cutaways either. I think it's pretty interesting that the geese can talk. And also Jocelyn with the Phoenix Force.
I like the
kinda funny.
Jocelyn one because they just don't address it. They're just like, she's alright. Yeah, it's whatever.
It's like, oh, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
It is funny because like she's on fire, so burning bridges joke.
On one hand, I can't say I'm too excited to see, I guess specifically Three Houses, because like again, the only Fire Emblem that I have any significant attachment to beyond Smash is like Radiant Dawn: Path of Radiance. I like Ike a lot, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised with Dimitri. Obviously, I'm excited to see Guts. I fucking love Berserk. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it. But yeah,
the rare moment
here's hoping
there's more than one Guts fan within the vicinity who's actually read Berserk.
Yeah, I actually just started picking up reading it again recently.
I really need to read it.
You've read Berserk, right?
I've read Berserk, yeah. I don't think I'm up to date.
I am just now at the point where they are in the woods and they have met Shirk, and they are going like they went into like the tree hut and they are meeting like the old lady witch for the first time, and she's like, "I've got a prophecy for you guys."
I really need to reread it because it's been a while. I've not kept up to date. How fucking funny would it be if I like reread it and then put it on my new media of 2023 just because I didn't read up to what its completion up to the most recent thing until 2023, and I just put it on the list and be like, so that's my number one favorite new media from this year is Berserk.
This is something I recommend to you, to Titanium if he cares, to everybody watching this video. If you're interested in doing any kind of research within a timely manner and you don't feel like committing to reading the manga for Berserk, and you just kind of want a feel of what the series is like, I want to say either a year ago or a couple years ago, they released Berserk Memorial Edition, which is a retelling. I think it's a repackaging of the Golden Age arc movies with some new animations and some new episodes put into it. It is really, really good. They use some of the music from the original 97 anime. They cover the Golden Age arc concisely without leaving too much of the important stuff out. They put in some stuff that the older versions don't have. I would highly recommend checking it out. I think it's only 12-ish episodes. I want to say it's 10 or 12 episodes.
I really like those movies. Like, I know everyone likes to make fun of Berserk's anime. I think the original anime and the movies are actually quite good, like, as adaptations of the Golden Age arc.
They have added in the Memorial Edition, like, all of the new 2D animation looks fucking beautiful. All of the 3D animation actually, like, blends really well into it and looks pretty good. It's never very jarring like the 3D animation. The sound design and music is always top notch. The voice acting is pretty good, at least in Japanese. I haven't seen the dub. But if you were looking for a digestible and relatively short way to get either introduced into Berserk or do a little bit of research for yourself for it, I would highly recommend checking those out. I don't know if the sale is still going, but if you're on Xbox, they've been having an anime sale recently. And they had the entire show on there for, I think, like $6 or something like that.
Well,
if not, it shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of.
Also, it's not too. The Band of the Hawk video game like actually uses clips from the movies for its cutscenes until it gets to like post-movie stuff. Where instead of using like the 2016 anime, I don't actually remember when the game came out, but instead of doing that, they just animated it themselves, and that's really funny.
Oh.
If you like warrior style games, which I know Don doesn't, but I do, and if you do, it's also a good way to experience a story more or less. Because
that's how I did it.
It does go for like a good, like most of the manga.
I played the Dynasty Warriors game.
I really like it. But it's gonna depend on if it's your kind of game, because like those games are very much love it or hate it, because they're very basic, very monotonous.
Is it my turn now?
How did you feel about this death battle?
Yeah, it's your turn now.
I don't know. I might be rooting for Dimitri next time just because I kind of want to fuck him.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.